'Twas the episode before Christmas, which was about to start. Natalie's booty produced nothing, not even a fart. The scripting was done the night before with care in hopes that the laughter and fun would be there. The listeners nestled all snug in their beds, with their hands down their pants, tilted back were their heads. When inside their headphones arose such a clatter, they jumped out of bed, their poor fantasies shattered. With a, well, hello there, gamers, so lively and quick, automatically downloaded from Ryan the Prick. The only downfall to this auditory treasure is they're now stopped from feeling their genital pleasure. Oh, Ryan, oh, Natalie, oh, the Mad Board Gamer, you cock-blocking jerks, could this be any lamer? Ugh, over 2 hours I must now wait. With Ryan's dumb voice, my libido awaits. I guess I'm at least hearing about some cool new games, they think to themselves with their loins still inflamed. I got it, they shout, their excitement now back. I'll listen and do that. They're an aphrodisiac. So quick they jump back in their beds with a thud to hear talk of Munson while handling their chud. The only thing leaving the guys feeling effed is that they're done now with still over 2 hours left. The girls last much longer till they're satisfied. Their climax times to the end of the top 5. 2 birds with 1 stone, now over, that's right. So Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. On tonight's episode of the Gamecasters, we talk about a lot of new games we've been playing recently, and then we end the show with our top 5 games released in 2020. Stay tuned. Gamers, and welcome back to the Gamecasters Christmas episode, the podcast where mistletoe hangs proudly from our jingle balls. We've got a very exciting show lined up for you today, filled with over-the-line, gasp-inducing, lazy, sexual innuendo ho-hos from Ryan, lots of palms directly to the face and head shakes from Natalie the brown-holed reindeer, and multiple failed...
Oh, my
and multiple
that was over the line. That was even just straight like a fart rhyme. That was whew.
That's worse than fart.
And multiple failed escape attempts through the chimney from Jeff the Mad Board Game Elf. The eggnog is flowing like a gas leak in our Gen Con Airbnb, and the 3 of us have more Christmas cheer than Santa when Mrs. Claus visits his South Pole. This is a pretty special day to record for us, as today is our own Natalangus Jangalangus's birthday. Happy birthday, Natalie.
Happy birthday.
Jeff's birthday was last Sunday as well, so we also haven't had a podcast.
Yeah, it was. Last Saturday.
That was close.
That's okay, it was close.
Yeah,
Last week,
close.
yeah.
And so we haven't done a podcast since we've had Jeff's birthday. Happy birthday, Jeff.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
And my birthday was back on September 10th. Happy birthday, me. Well, given that today's Natalie's actual birthday, what better way to tell her how valued she is than to force her to record a board game podcast? Well, here's to you, sweetheart, in a song I wrote about you kicking the crap out of me in games.
Oh, God. Do you know this song?
Well, sometimes I play games by myself, and I just keep getting slaughtered. And I think of all the things I could be doing in my head, like painting pictures. Right when you came home, well, you said I was a mess, and you missed beating my ass at all these games that I've amassed. I need a 4-leaf clover. Stop beating the pants off of me. Why don't you take it easy, Natalie? Natalie. Oh, please, Natalie. Stop beating me. What did you have to beat my tail in that last game of For Sale? I really need a rules lawyer. You get so hot, I got a tan, and I don't think I'm the right man who'll compete with you. You know what else isn't fair? You want Alien Frontiers and Santorini. I might take up drinking wine because you're winning all the time. Are you still dizzy? Well, since since I've come home. Well, my ego's been a mess, and I miss when you weren't there, 'cause then at least I had a chance. I need a 4-leaf clover. Stop beating the pants off of me. Why don't you take it easy, Natalie? Natalie. Oh, please, Natalie.
I'm begging you.
Natalie. Oh, please, Natalie. So what's going on with you guys? Getting excited for Christmas? Everyone knows it's the most selfish time of the year. I mean, giving gifts is cool and all, but come on, getting them is so much better. I'd rather get Merv than give Merv, wouldn't you? I'd so much rather get Bonfire or Castles of Tuscany than give them to some poor loser.
Poor loser.
Here, poor loser, take these games.
I like how, first of all, the first game you said was Merv, and I feel like people didn't know that was a game to start with. You're like, who's Merv? Like, why?
Like Merv?
Where's Merv?
Merv from
I'd rather get a Merv than give one. Like,
Somebody
oh.
on Instagram made a post, and it said like, Merv, like Sticky Bandits, and it showed his face, and like 3 people commented, they were like, "Oh, that's so funny," and I wrote back and I was like, "Isn't his name Marv?" And he was like, "Oh no,
yeah.
from Home Alone?
yeah,
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought his name was Merv.
no,
No,
it's Marv."
Marv.
And he was like, "Oh no,
Why you dressed like a chicken?
He's like, "I've posted that." He's like, "I've posted that on every social media platform.
Oh, no.
I made a huge mistake."
Oh,
Kind of
Merv.
sounded like a snake.
Oh, snakes. I don't know
I
no
don't know
snakes.
snakes.
What a great movie.
I don't know, but one guy blew the other guy away.
Yeah.
So what's up, man?
Well, what's up with me? Well, we're
Yeah.
on break now. We're on Christmas
Oh,
break.
you are?
Okay.
Yeah, well, Friday. Yeah.
Wow, the kids have school until Tuesday.
Ooh, I would have liked school until Tuesday because I would go up right up until Christmas because I like having the break after Christmas longer.
Oh,
If that makes any sense?
yeah.
But, yeah, so we're on break starting today. I am ordering, no, this is good news. I ordered some lumber and materials to start finishing my basement.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to start over break,
What's
at least
step
with
one?
something.
Wait, so you're
Step one
doing
is
it.
insulation and
Okay, that's
framing.
not terrible.
So that's step
Dave will help
one.
you with that, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not doing the entire thing. I'm just going to do some of it, and then I have a friend who has a construction company who's going to come in and help.
Oh, nice.
Shout out Mike Dumichel, not listening. What
Yeah,
up,
Mike
Dumo?
Dumichel.
You know him?
No.
Okay,
Never heard
that's all right. But he's coming over.
Did he go to Thurston?
No,
No, I don't know him.
I don't think so. I
Mike.
bowled with him because that's what people do
yes,
in Michigan.
I know
We
him from
golf
that.
and bowl, right, Natalie?
Yes.
She was
We're
not
watching-
listening
she's
to a
not
thing you
listening.
said. She
Sorry.
looked. Her head was down. You're like right down, and she looked up like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
he said my name.
I know. What else is in my banter section? Let's talk about this. I'm watching a show on HBO Max called Flight Attendant. Have you watched that?
no.
With Kaylee Cuoco.
Oh no, we heard about that though.
It's pretty good.
We don't
Isn't
have-
it?
it's
Is
pretty
it
cool.
a show or is
It's
it
on
like
HBO.
we watched the preview and we were like, this seems more like a movie.
Yeah, but I just read that it got like picked up for a season 2. So it
Yeah.
must
Oh,
be
okay.
a
So it is
Definitely
an
a show.
actual series. Okay.
I could have backed that up. I'm watching it. It's a show. And also I got this cool thing in the mail called Clue cards.
Oh my god, I want
posted
this.
about
I
this.
forgot.
Okay.
I wanted this.
I have. I'm gonna get some for you. I'm
Okay.
sending you guys.
Oh,
some.
cool.
So
This is awesome. What is this about?
It's very cool. So it's a postcard. So it's an oversized postcard, and it's a escape room puzzle holiday themed postcard.
That's awesome.
So there's like you can just buy a bunch of them and you can write people's names on it just like you'd send
Just kinda
anything
mail
else,
them
and
out.
you can mail them, and then it shows up, and on both sides there's like puzzles that you kind of solve to figure out. Like the one that we got had. You had to label all the presents under the tree. So it was like Santa forgot the list. He forgot the names on the list.
Yeah.
So you have to go and try to figure out whose present is what based on these clues that are in these letters and around the room that's on the picture. It was pretty cool. So Devin and I did that one night
was it
just sitting around.
simple?
This one was easier, I would say. But there's like scale of 1 to 5 in difficulty. And this was, I think, like a 2.
Now let me ask you this: Is this like the kickoff to a company?
Yeah.
Like, are they only going to do holiday themes, or is this just like they want this to be a business now?
From
They're
my
gonna do escape
understanding,
room
they
postcards?
started with this holiday thing. They started with these big holiday, so they have 5 or 6 holiday cards, postcards, and I think they're going to keep going. I don't know if they're going to do all the holidays as they go through, or if they're just going to try to keep it like, well, now this is just a picture. Let's just
Yeah.
use a picture
Right.
instead of that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It's Clue Cards. It's a Canadian company, so it'll be
Clue Cards.
cluecards.ca.
Is it
Okay.
Canada.
CLUE?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Clue Cards. So I thought that was pretty cool that we would have got
You never
that.
know. It
that
could
we
be
got that.
KLEW.
because of the Canadian spelling. That's racist.
Those Canadians.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Two E's
that's
at
pretty
the
cool.
end.
I'm gonna send you guys one
Head
because I have one.
flapping. Cool. That's awesome. I would
Yeah.
I would love to play one of those. I saw you posted that and I got real juicy. in my juice spot.
Your juice spot?
Yeah. Natalie, do you know where his juice spot is?
I think I've seen it.
It's in the fridge where I keep all the juice boxes.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Jeez. It's like a little corner
Natalie,
of the fridge.
put the
where I
milk
got,
in the
like,
juice spot
yeah,
again.
That's not where the juice spot is, Natalie.
Oh, yuck. What's going on with Natalie?
Today's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Birthday, girl.
Thank you. It's my birthday.
You look so old now.
Oh, I know. I am old. I'm officially smack dab in the middle of my 30s.
Yeah, but you'll never be as old as your mom.
Yeah,
Your mom. True.
your mom. Is that a your mom joke?
I'm the worst your mom. I'm the worst your mama joke.
Your mom's
person
older
in the
than you.
world.
Boom.
You're so old, your mom's still older. Wait, that's not
With me, let's see.
You got to rhyme the rest of the time now.
I know.
Yep.
Nothing. I spent hours and hours and
stopped rhyming.
hours wrapping presents yesterday.
You're not rhyming.
Oh.
We got the kids so many presents.
Did you just put them in bags? Why don't you just put them in bags?
We did a couple.
A couple of them. But
Well, she enjoys wrapping presents.
I like wrapping
For me,
presents.
that's the worst. That's the worst part about
And
Christmas.
I feel like it's more fun for them to like rip open wrapping paper and
I
see
agree
like
with that.
the boxes.
Yeah.
Plus,
Devin is our
we didn't
designated
have that many
rapper in our
bags.
house. She's good.
Why? Okay, I was asking this to Natalie yesterday. Why is it just programmed into every woman's DNA to be the perfect gift wrapper? Does Devin wrap presents like
She's
like
good
she works
at it.
a
She's a
store?
lot better than I am because I just, for some reason, the corners I end up just like crumpling and they're, like folded half.
Mine, I
and
feel like I'm like
it's terrible.
I somehow always use miles of paper extra
Yeah.
than I need to. I guess I don't know.
Devin's
Natalie,
good at
like
it.
I look at her, I'm like, this looks like it was gift wrapped at fucking Macy's. Like, what are you? How? It's just
don't
programmed
know.
into every woman's DNA to wrap presents.
Nice job.
Is that sexist? Maybe. I apologize. I don't mean that in a negative connotation, but I just can't wrap presents,
Yeah, I
and Natalie's
can't.
just so good at it.
My mom
Good
taught
job.
me how to do it because she wraps them perfectly. And I remember when I still like lived at home. Well, I remember one year I was like, "Teach me how you do this." I was like, "It's so perfect." And
Teach
she, like,
me.
showed
Teach me your
what she
ways.
did.
Teach me.
I saw that you got a golf bag for your birthday.
Yeah, my dad got me a brand new
Wow.
golf bag. It's super nice. I'm really excited.
Can't wait till the spring comes and we don't do the podcast on time anymore.
And I'm always like, can we do it later?
She's happy because it has these. You can like, it'll stand up on its own.
Yeah, the legs.
Like,
Yeah,
little
that's like the
legs.
best thing.
That's normal. So like I had
Yeah,
one
I have-
with the
even
stand
mine has that.
always.
Even Ryan's has
I got
it.
mine
know.
from Toys
Well,
R Us.
This is what happened. I had a nice bag, but I had it like since high school. And like a few years ago, I bought a new set of clubs because I had the same clubs since high school. And I was like, I deserve a new set of clubs.
I deserve.
So
I've
I
worked hard
bought
for these.
myself, and then it came with this bag. And the bag's good, except that it didn't have the stand.
You need to have a
thing.
stand.
And
That's
so I
just-
was, and I was at first I was like, whatever.
Basic
but
necessity.
We've been playing all summer, and I'm like, this is super annoying.
Yeah.
Also, you just got a birthday text from Brian Beach, our friend Brian Beach. Shout out to Brian Beach. It's funny. It says, Natalie, I wish you a very happy birthday and may a few of your dreams come true.
A few. Not all of them.
Wow, thanks,
Don't get
Brian.
greedy over there. Okay. You get some. Choose.
You can have 3.
Some of your
Yeah.
dreams. A few of them.
I mean, it's unrealistic that all of them will.
Yeah.
So
He's
I'm
a
gonna
realist.
wish for
How nice.
A, yeah,
He's just a
realistic wish.
how nice.
May a few. I don't want you to get your hopes up.
Yeah.
You know?
Didn't you say something in your intro about
Yep.
the most selfish time of the year?
Yeah, absolutely.
That
I just
made
want
me.
presents.
That reminded me of
Give them
like.
to me.
That reminded me.
hate
So,
giving things away.
like my sister, she like asked for like some stuff for Christmas, and I liked everything she asked for. So I literally was like ×2, one for me, one for her, and then like my dad told me he was like
a few of your
he
dreams.
was like, this,
Goals,
I spend
gifts.
more on myself this time of year than the whole year.
Everything's on sale.
I know. So
Yeah.
he does the same thing too. He
If
just
everything's
buys
on
tons of
sale
stuff
and
for
you hate
himself.
people, this is perfect for you.
Yeah.
But I'm really proud of us. We
He got the entire
Finished-
Enrique Iglesias
Yeah.
box set collection.
The anthology.
Collected works.
we
Came with a poster.
We finished all our Christmas shopping like way earlier than
Yeah, good.
normal. Because we didn't want to go to the store.
'Cause you did online.
We just bought
Yeah,
everything,
everything online. That's another
We
great
did the
thing
same
about
thing.
coronavirus.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could buy stuff online before Corona.
No.
I do
guess-
like sometimes going. I like going out and buying stuff sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah,
That's great.
I don't
Well,
mind.
we did that at
I hate
like
it.
some things. Because we were trying to find like sizable things. Because like, with Ryan's kids, he has 3 kids, and apparently if Cameron had a bunch of like littler size stuff and Lexi had a bunch of large size
Oh,
stuff,
yep.
he would just see that and be like, that's not fair. So we're like, let's go to the store, because we had made the mistake of like ordering some stuff online thinking it's big and it comes in and it's really small, and we're like, whoops. And I was like, let's just go to the store, find some large things.
To be fair,
just
yeah.
to make it look
They're not
large.
just like little brats that don't care about. Like that's not fair. But you're totally right.
No, it's not
There's
like, in a bratty
It's
way.
like you
It's
eat
more
with your
just-
eyes before you eat with your mouth,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
You don't
know?
want him to feel disappointed just by looking at the
And
present.
yeah, that's just something.
It's a reaction of kids to do that.
Yeah,
And
they're all
also-
selfish
Yeah.
a-holes.
Also, the amount of gifts, right? If they're opening things at the same time,
we
it's
had to
like,
get them
you
all
need to have,
exactly
Gotta
the
have
same
the
get
same
amount.
5
Yep.
gifts or whatever. So
Yep.
this is it.
Yeah.
Even if one is way more expensive, they don't care.
Nope, they
want
don't
the-
care.
It's about
Dude,
quantity.
it is
on
like it
Christmas
is
morning.
such a
Quantity and
delicate
size
like
matters.
Yeah.
it's such a delicate like ballet.
Yeah.
To get all their presents right and make you like you're like half like excited for Christmas, the magic of Christmas, and half you're like, oh god, I want to. Be, oh my god, you
Don't
still like
screw
me?
it up. Don't screw it up. Well, you
Yeah.
can just blame it on Santa.
Santa got you that one. You don't like that? That's Santa's fault. Call him. Write him a letter right
I mean,
now.
You didn't get them right.
Yeah. Way to go, Santa.
I wrote him 3 strongly worded letters
Yep.
already, and
Yeah.
he still did it. So I mean, don't blame me.
Santa.
Blame it on Santa.
Blame it on Santa.
Blame it on Santa.
I mean, right?
Gotta blame it on something.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, is anything else going on with us? I got
We're
Ryan
watching
finally
Shameless.
to start watching
Oh.
Shameless.
Okay.
Emmy
William H.
Rawson.
Macy.
It's
There's
all
lots
about.
of
Have you
boobs
seen
in
the
that
show?
If anybody
I've seen
likes
I've
boobs,
not seen it all. I've seen the
there's
first
lots.
season, maybe.
Emmy
I just never
Rossum is
continue to watch it.
half naked every episode.
Yeah.
So if you're a dirty perv, watch
I know
Shameless
Dave
for
Madigan
Emmy
likes
Rossum.
her.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like her?
Yeah.
She is a very attractive
Probably some
female
people.
specimen. Yeah, maybe no.
What's the end of that sentence? What's the end of that?
There's also male parts in it sometimes.
Yeah, there's dudity. If you're into dudity, there's a lot of that
There's male parts
as well.
There's male parts too.
Oh my gosh.
I started
Okay, that's
watching
really
this show last night. My sister told me about called The Home Edit, and it's all about like organizing.
I heard her talking about that.
Your
Yeah, she
Oh,
was
it's like
house.
Marie Kondo. Is it like Marie Kondo? Do you know who Marie Kondo is?
Yeah,
Kondo?
I haven't seen that show, so I don't know if it's like that.
Is that a person's name?
Yeah.
What it is? This is all about like organizing
Like
like
condominiums,
closets
her last
and
name?
pantries and and stuff, and then trying to keep that like organize it in a way that's like maintainable. And,
It's like change your lifestyle to be
and
more
now I'm
organized.
like.
Yeah. Oh no.
Ryan's
Are we
been
going to the
telling me-
container store?
Yeah, Ryan's been telling me about the container store, and
Hell
I've never
yeah.
been there. And now I'm like,
It's
maybe
awesome.
I should go
you're going.
there.
It's so awesome.
But Ryan doesn't like shopping, so you gotta do it online.
Yeah, boo.
He said he likes the containers.
I do. Going to that container.
Game
Have you
stores
been
and
there?
container
Yeah, right,
stores.
Number
exactly.
one birthday wish,
They're all
go to the
for
container
games.
store
All
with
for
me.
games. Well, you want to go today?
Maybe.
Are they open on your birthday? Isn't it a national
I think it's
holiday?
a national
Is
holiday.
anything
Yep.
open? Is this podcast even recording? So have we been playing some games? The answer is no for me and Natalie. We've been slacking hardcore with doing other things in life like banging every second of the day. And so that
yes.
takes a lot of
Second.
time.
Well, I think Natalie agreed with that one.
I know.
She didn't like, oh,
Yeah, she wasn't
God,
like, oh,
Ryan. She
Jesus.
said, oh, yeah.
Well, because she can't deny. That's why. She can't deny.
I do get those texts in the group when you guys are doing it. So
We accidentally butt dial
10
you
p.m.
every time.
yeah, it's not an accident.
Accidentally,
Yeah.
no. Jeff, it'll be about 35
Yeah.
more seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, new
I hear light applause.
record.
Sometimes Devin's like, ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Are you listening to them again?
Yeah, mind your own business.
Oh my gosh. So Jeff, you have been playing games.
I've been
lately.
playing a lot
You
of
have
games.
you have been on a celibacy run.
Yeah, Jeff was like, I
Yeah.
have so many games to talk about. I was like, good, because we
Yeah.
don't have any.
I was like, this
Yeah.
is.
Jeff's
I
like,
don't, we
Ryan's
gotta
having all
stop the
sex.
banter now.
I'll play all the
because-
games.
Yeah. We gotta stop the banter because I have too many games to talk about. So
Too many games.
If
All
you
right,
guys
man, what
have
you
any?
got?
If you guys have,
We got one. We
Yeah.
got one.
We got one that we played
one.
last night.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, that's not. We've played a bunch more, but they were all games that have been spoken
Yeah,
about.
they're games
previously.
that-
Well,
they
that's not
weren't
true.
new.
There is one little card game we could talk a little bit about. We won't, but we could.
Which one?
Coloretto.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't know that we've actually talked about
I played that a
Coloretto
couple times.
on the show. So, Jeff,
That's true.
what do you have, my friend?
All right, I got a whole bunch of games. So
hear 'em.
sit back, get a snack if you want to eat while I'm talking. That's
Those are ice cubes.
ice cream.
Wait,
So-
wait. The funniest thing ever. All right, Jeff
it?
posted this question on Instagram and it said, "Where do dirty socks
Oh yeah,
go?" And that was because of a game he's going to talk about.
yeah. Where do all these missing
Oh,
socks
were you going to
go?
bring that up already in your?
It's all right. Go ahead.
We can. It's so
No, it's funny. Do it, yeah.
All right, so
Funny.
if you listen to the show, especially in the last handful of episodes, you know that there's this little running gag where Jeff will be in the middle of explaining a game, and me and or Natalie will eat something
Hear us chew
and,
it.
and it's loudly, and then Jeff berates us for half a minute, and it's just funny.
Yeah.
Right. So Jeff asked this question because of this game he's going to talk about in a little bit, and I'm totally stealing his thunder here. And it was basically, where do all the hidden socks go? And one person answered, was it Son of Thunder?
I'm
No,
looking
it
it
Or
was
up right
dog
now.
powered vehicle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dog powered
yeah.
vehicle. Yep.
He wrote, Ryan ate them while Jeff was talking about a game.
Yeah, it was great.
I saw that and like Natalie, she was like, "Oh my god, I laughed so hard." Because
really
you just
funny.
posted it
Yeah,
on
I
your
posted,
story,
like,
and that was
Yeah.
I laughed about that for a long
that was
time.
really
I'm very
funny.
sorry. Continue
No, that's
your-
good.
Go ahead.
So we have a theme going for the next 2 games that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Is it socks?
The
No, it's
theme is
Paris.
Oh.
So I played a game called Dinner in Paris. I would call it Dinner in Paris,
Oh, is
but
that the
I'm going to
glow-in-the-dark
run out of
one?
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna run out.
I'm going to run out of
I got
being
about
able to
3
do that.
Paris
Yeah,
before I just can't do it
so
anymore.
this is a new game from Funny Fox, which is a pretty newer publisher.
Funny
Again, a
Fox. I
French
don't think I've ever even
publisher.
heard of that. Pretty great.
So
En
this
français.
is their this is their biggest, I think. At least the game is getting the most buzz that they've ever released. They have a new game coming out, I think, called Candy Lab as well. You might have seen like pictures of it.
Candy Lab,
Yeah, like you're making
Like a
candy.
like a
Labrador?
Labrador.
Yeah, it's like a.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
That's
boy.
right. You want to bang
Oh,
there,
great.
yeah.
Jeff? It'll be about
Okay.
early.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just talk about my games.
Birthday
Go ahead.
banging.
At least move the computer.
A BB.
BB.
So, like I said, this game is getting a ton of buzz. It has a U.S.
Buzz your
release.
girlfriend. Woof.
Oh my god. Well, I guess it's relevant for Christmas.
It's
Yeah.
now it's relevant.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
I think it's like releasing pretty soon. So I've heard December, but sometimes it's always hard when things like does it get delivered
Yeah.
to distributors in December and then sent
Right,
out.
and then we don't get it.
So
Until,
I don't think that you won't see it until maybe the new year. But I've seen it on Instagram a bunch outside
too.
of the United States.
looks so
I was
cool.
really
Dinner in
super
Paris.
pumped.
Looked to me like that other Paris game.
yeah, a walk in Paris, walking in Baran, walking in.
No, Paris, a Lumiere.
What? No.
Llama.
What?
Yeah, when I saw his
art, maybe.
pictures, I was like,
Yeah.
for a second, I was like, is that Paris game?
But it's not polyomino,
Kind of looked like it.
is it?
Well, I'll get there.
Yeah, I get that.
So,
Let him
in Dinner in Paris, so players compete to open restaurants and build terraces in the new pedestrian square that opened in Paris. Did you hear about this?
Yep.
The new pedestrian square.
heard.
That's where you just walk around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a big open space.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just a big open space, and you want to open all these restaurants in this big open space. So everybody begins with a very cool dual-layered player board.
Awesome.
And it's full of terrace tiles, so just like little squares. Okay, and they're in 4 different rows, and then there's informations about all the restaurants that you can open or that you can build in, like on the player board as well.
They're cool little plastic restaurants. aren't they? Yeah,
yes, the
components.
restaurants are little plastic buildings. And you like click the tops on for like they're like little Legos, so they came separated. You click them
Yeah,
on. It
that's
has like a
that's-
sticker
that
of
was
what the name
one
of the
thing I
restaurant is in the
remember
front.
about
Yeah, it's like
I know what you're
beautiful.
talking about now.
So on their turn, what you can do
It's
is
kind of polyomino.
oh yeah, well, kind of. It's
know.
kind of, but it's not. I know.
I'm sorry. My microphone's going away.
Okay, it's going away. Ryan,
Can't hear me now.
this was just.
Off. Go ahead.
Didn't we
Talk
just
quietly.
negotiate this in our contract?
Yeah.
So,
Free Taco Bell every time Ryan interrupts.
yeah. So Ryan's buying us Taco Bell for lunch again. He's got to put that aside in his budget.
That's true.
So, so the board is so you start with all these terrace tiles in your player board, and then the board is a common board where you're playing these restaurants and terrace tiles too. It's a big, like there's just square by squares. Okay, it's like big grid, right? So on your turn, you first draw an ingredient card because you want to open restaurants, so you need ingredients, right? And then you choose 2 other actions to do. The first thing you do is you can take another ingredient card. You can use those ingredient cards to open a restaurant. So, for example, if I wanted to open a, it's called like a, what is French fries in French? Fritas?
France fries.
Oh, okay. I think it's like fritas. So if you want to
français.
open a small fritas, you have to turn in 2 potato cards, right?
Okay.
So you have to, they're kind of like, or a pizzeria, you'd have to turn in the tomato, a breadstick, and something else. So you take these cards and you can build a restaurant. The other thing you can do is you can spend income and you can build these terraces out in front of your restaurant. So they're little squares, and you take the terrace tiles off of your player board and you put them in front of your restaurant, which, as Ryan said, they can make polyomino shapes, right? It's not a polyomino game, but the squares put together obviously make shapes that look like polyomino shapes.
Cool.
Yeah. Right, like Tasty Human.
Yes. Kind
Yeah, exactly. So they're just squares, but the squares end up looking like those different shapes. Or the last thing you do is you can complete one of your private goals or a public goal. And like I said, all the restaurants have like different ingredient cards in order to open them, which is pretty cool. And each row of your terrace tiles have to go onto a certain building. So if I want to build one off of the fritas, I have to take it out of a certain row. If I want to build one off the pizzeria, a terrace off the pizzeria, I have to take it from that row. If I want to build one off a giant grill restaurant, I have to take one off that row. And each of them have different costs and different rewards. So it's cheaper to build my terraces off the fritas because it's a small building, and it's more expensive to build it off the French version of like, it's called like the gastro something gigantic huge restaurant, like it's like 5 spaces. So, but that
What
costs
is the word
more.
for gastro something gigantic huge?
I don't know. Maybe we'll ask our French listeners.
I'll do the English to French translator.
So those then cost more because the building is bigger, but you get more rewards for building those terraces out. And so throughout the game, there are these public goals and private goals, and a lot of them deal with your terraces. So sometimes it's the shape. So I have to build this certain shape off of my restaurant, and then I can turn it in and I can get points for it. Or I have to build my terraces next to lampposts, or I have to build the most in this certain region of the board. So it's all related to that. Sometimes it's like how many buildings you have, how many restaurants you have. And there is a common amount of buildings. So there's only a certain amount of fritas. There's only a certain amount of gastro huge whatever I said earlier. There's only a certain amount of grills, so you're kind of racing to compete that as well.
Creperies.
And then
Crepes.
you play until there's like a certain amount of restaurants built, a certain amount of terraces that are built. Either one of those like happens. You know, there's like end game triggers.
Yeah.
And then you get points for your restaurant. So each restaurant is worth a certain amount of points. You get points for how many terraces you built at each of the rows. You get points for objective cards, and you get points for this this majority card that's selected at the beginning of the game. So you shuffle all these
that's
up.
different each time?
Every time there's like 15 cards, and you just pick one.
That's cool. I like
And
that.
there are things like have the most restaurants, have the most income, have the most terraces on this side of the board. So they kind of rotate. I think there's like 8 or 9 of them that just rotate throughout those 15 cards. And that everybody knows at the beginning of the game. So then you total up your points, and whoever has the most points, the usual wins.
The huge. That's sweet. What's the weight on it like? Is
It's
it pretty light?
Yeah. The rules aren't very like heavy. It didn't take very long to teach, or there wasn't a ton of like questions as we were going through. And I think, although for it being pretty light, I think there's like enough strategy, there's enough planning to like make gamers want to play it, right?
Okay.
There's some conflict. Like if I build my restaurant right next to your restaurant, and on my turn, I run 2 terraces right in front of yours, you can't build any terraces off your restaurant. So there's a little bit of conflict there.
Okay.
It's not like you're not necessarily encouraged to do that, but I can.
But you could,
right?
Sure.
So I think there is enough strategy planning conflict for gamers to like play the game hardcore, but it's also just an easy way to introduce people to gaming.
Yeah.
Right. It's just beautiful looking. So like
I looked at some pictures. You're right. It does kind of look like Paris de Lumière du temps.
it has like that almost like light kind of like the coloring of the
Yeah, the
box and
coloring
everything looks really
similar.
cool.
Well,
And then
you're
it's got,
playing
like,
next
the
to
grid.
lanterns in the grid, and
Yeah.
you're putting tiles out, and,
And it's
Yeah.
Paris.
2 different colors, right? Blue and orange. Are those the only colors in there, or is there?
It's probably more.
That's what it looked like.
Well, no, there's blue, orange, there's light blue, and red. Those are the player colors.
Oh, because they're player colors.
yes. So
I gotcha.
my terraces would be orange. So all
I
of my
see.
terraces were orange.
Everything that you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe played blue. Jen played light blue. So that's how the
Gotcha.
board kind of looked.
Okay. What did they think?
They both liked it.
Cool.
I think they both really liked it. Yeah, it was fun. First of all, just looking at it, it's like beautiful, right? Those buildings just like
Those
draw
pictures are
you to the
amazing.
board
Yeah, pictures are really
immediately,
good.
and it's like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that there's a kind of for playing things sort of by yourself, right? Like I'm collecting my own cards, I'm trying to complete my own objectives. There is some player interaction because I'm trying to compete to build the same buildings because there's only a set amount of those. I'm competing for the same public goals. I'm competing to achieve these majorities. So there's a lot of interaction there, which you can make as well. We didn't really play a ton of conflict. We didn't like cut people off as much, but you could play like that.
Yeah.
But even the way we played, which was fairly nice, there was still a lot of like interaction.
Getting in
I had to
people's way.
plan around other people.
Yeah. Like I see you're making this shape. It's going to cut
Yeah.
right into my.
And it
shape.
wasn't like I was doing things on purpose to screw somebody over, but I was doing things and then you have to then make an adjustment, right? Like kind of like you said, just getting in the way versus pushing them over.
Yeah.
Right. That's like, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I would say so. I really liked it. It's going to stay around. I want to play it with Devin again. What's also awesome, which I appreciate, is there's 2 sides of the boards. There's a
Scales?
2-player.
Good.
So the
Smaller,
2-player
probably.
board is just smaller. The 3-player and 4-player board, it just has like little outlines of where you'd put depending on if you played 3 or 4 players.
Oh, sure.
But I like that it specifically had like a 2-player side.
Yeah.
That's something I appreciate. It's
That
also
is cool.
what I
Me
appreciate
too.
about
I
that
agree with
new
that.
Castles of Burgundy has a 2-player side to the board, which I
Nice.
like a lot. It was just kind of fun. It was fun to like, and honestly, it was just probably a little racist, pretending to talk French. But like, just opening these restaurants and being funny about what restaurants you're opening and picking up these things,
fun.
and it made it more fun.
You're role playing.
Yeah.
Don't think of it like you're racist.
Just
role play.
I would say, so a couple downsides. I would say the setup is a little tedious. So all those little squares just come in like a bag, and you have to like put them into your player board.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of like set that up, which is a little goofy. It's not bad. You just tell everybody to do their own. But it was kind of like, I got to put every single one of these squares in there. But again, I'm nitpicking. And it only took like an hour and a half to play, which was a great time for that game. It didn't like feel like I was playing too long.
That's interesting because I looked at the weight. It's a 2, which is pretty light. An hour and a half, almost. It sounds like that might be too long for that weight.
It says
because it was 4 people.
Yeah, we played with 3. So I know on the box it says 40 minutes. So if we played again, it would be 40 minutes. I would say we played in an hour, a little over an hour with rules. So we were about an hour and 10 or 15 with rules, which was
if it didn't feel like
it didn't
too
feel.
long,
I didn't feel like
its welcome.
Oh God, is this ever going to end?
Yeah.
There were actually moments where like Joe could have ended it, and he was like, "I need another turn," right? And he stopped. He didn't build a building instead. There is one of the complaints I think we have at some games is picking up a card and getting points, right? Lucking into points.
That.
So that can happen, but what I do like about this game is one of your actions has to be that you complete the goal. So if I pick up a card that I already have done, like have the most light posts, whatever,
I got that.
I can't play it right away.
Oh, you have to like add
I have
another
to take
thing.
an action. Okay. So one of my 2 actions on my turn is to take that. So now I'm sacrificing something else because I just happen to pick up points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
That's a
I
decent
do.
way to combat
I thought
that.
was a good way to kind of balance it, like you said. So that was Dinner in Paris.
Nice. Dinner in Paris.
Yeah, and it's just beautiful. You should look it up.
Those pictures are awesome. It's everywhere over Instagram right now, and those pictures are really cool. So you might remember last episode or the episode before, who can remember that far back, when I talked about a game I got in the mail from Kickstarter that produced more garbage than all of us after eating Taco Bell. That game was Paris, Kiesling and Kramer's newest design that I backed about a year ago, maybe even less. It was kind of a quick Kickstarter return. Not as quick as something like Copenhagen,
Oh, that
which was like a week.
Yeah.
We like backed it. It's like, okay, you want it now?
Yeah.
I was almost like
it's already
no.
ready.
Like shouldn't I wait a year? Yeah, like, well, we got it. Here it is. So Natalie learned it.
Ooh.
Yeah. And we got it to the table.
And this is
here's
Paris,
what it's
not
all about.
Dinner
This is
in
not
Paris.
Dinner in Paris. This is not
Regular
Paris
old
de la
Paris.
Lumiere. This is not a walk in Paris. This is just Paris.
Yeah.
It's literally just, I don't even think, is there even anything? I think it's just Paris. I don't think there's any
It's Paris.
colon.
Michael Kiesling.
There's no colon.
Colon, Michael Kiesling.
Yeah, colon. Kiesling and Kramer. Natalie, you want to take it from here?
Well, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in Paris, you are building
It's her
up the
birthday.
city.
Let her do it.
That's the problem.
Let her do it.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Okay, honey. I'm sorry. I will let you explain the game. Do you want to explain the game?
No.
Okay.
No.
He just goes, like, say no.
No. I was like, you don't, right? You can. Do you want to do it?
No.
Okay. In Paris, you are building up the city of Paris.
Paris. Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Or some such typical Eurogame nonsensical theme that is as arbitrary as like bathing in a gravel pit filled with kangaroos. It doesn't make any difference. You're placing these keys on building tiles by paying money so you can earn the most influence in an area of buildings to score more points than your opponents. I mean, you're placing rocks onto different leveled kangaroo tiles to jump ahead of the other one in line so you can bathe first in the gravel pit. It's like the theme is just nonsense, but it's
So
it's
I could
cool.
call it other
Well-
You
things.
call it whatever you want.
Would you want to just call it another city? Could it be?
Could be any other city.
It could be
Commerce.
any other.
It doesn't have to be a
The
city though.
building of
It could
commerce.
literally
Oh.
be anything.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's a slight amount of theme because you place the keys in the bank to get money so that you can
Yeah,
buy
but
a
you could-
building or a landmark.
You could say I'm placing the sperm in the egg to get.
Oh. What's that game called?
Sex.
You,
That's what it's called. You just go
it's
sex.
not. It's not sex de
like-
lumiere.
yeah.
It's not walking
Yeah.
sex. It's not dinner with
It's like
sex.
Kiesling
It's
and
just
Kramer game.
Sex.
This game's called Sex.
But yeah, so it's like you are not playing this game and getting any evocative feelings of like it seems like when you're playing Dinner in Paris, you're putting buildings out
yes.
and you feel
Yeah.
like you're there.
I would
board,
agree.
Okay, the board in this game looks amazing.
It looks cool.
It's
really, really big.
really huge, and it looks sweet. But I still don't get any theme from. Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. That's that. We'll talk about that in a minute. So anyway, depending on which tile that you play your key on, because you have 10 of these keys, and they're basically like your
Well,
workers.
it's 10 for 2 players. It's different.
Yeah, there's
per player
more. There's
count.
more or less for
Yeah.
other player counts. Anyway, depending on which tile you place your key on determines what type of resource that you can take. You're also able to move your key on your turn instead of placing it, which completely reinvents the worker placement mechanism. Just kidding. But so each district will have 6 different tiles on it, numbering from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 8.
Yes.
Which is kind of weird.
Okay.
But so there's 6 of those tiles in 6 different districts on the board. Okay, so 36 tiles are out on the board. Each of those 6 districts has 6 tiles. Okay, does that make sense?
And those districts are surrounding in a circle around the.
You just want to do this?
De Triomphe. No.
Yes. Let her go.
Go ahead. Do it.
No.
You can do it. You just jump in.
No. Okay.
So when you're placing a key on a tile, you have to pay money equal to the level of the building you're placing it on. So if I want to place a key on building 5, I have to pay 5 money. Unless I already have a key on building 5, and let's say I want to go to building 8, I can either place a new key on building 8 and pay 8, or I can just move the key from building 5 to building 8 by only paying 3.
Paying
The difference.
You can never.
Did you have a
go-
calculator for this game, or did you guys?
No,
You did
the
okay.
numbers
We pretty
were
much
pretty
got. They're
low.
pretty
got it.
low.
Okay.
The low numbers were low enough that it was pretty easy to
counted my
make a mistake
fingers,
and not
so-
have Natalie call me out on it.
Sure.
So the trade-off there is, yes, it's less money to move to that tile, but you're now not putting another key out onto the district. And the reason you want keys onto the district is because at the end of the game, there's an area majority. More keys. Ooh. And it's not necessarily the most keys. Like if I have 3 keys and Natalie has 1, she can still win the district because the number of tile that your key is on is also the influence number. So if I have a key on tile 8, that's 8 influence for that district. So if I have a key on 8, but Natalie has a key on 1, 2, and 3, I still win the district. Mm-hmm. Make sense?
Yeah.
So if you move a key, you're increasing your influence, but you only, if I had a key on 5 and I just paid 8 gold, now I have 13 instead of just moving it from 5 to 8. Now I only have 8 because you move it off of 5, right? Okay. So you understand that. The level of the building, like I said, is also the strength. And at the end of the game, certain regions will score based on that strength, and that's a big way to score victory points at the end of the game. The game is pretty tricky in the later rounds as you're really trying to like min-max your money and your key placement in order to get into the districts that you're competing with your opponents in to try and win them. Again, it's area majority. Area majority games are typically pretty interactive, and this game is really no different. I mean, especially in a 2-player game. And Natalie put it best where she was like, well, it's either you or me. All these spots, it's like, I'm not like taking this one from Jeff or battling this one from Dave. It's like, I'm going to beat you there. I'm going to beat you there. I'm going to beat you there. And I'm not beating you there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's very interactive. I wouldn't say it feels mean, but it's definitely, we're directly competing with each other.
Yeah.
Where in a lot of typical Euro games, you're building your own thing and then you compare scores. This is not. We're like, I'm taking a turn to steal back my influence in this district, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of tough decisions, as once you place a key in a district, you can never take it back. So in a 2-player game, you have 10 keys. You could get a maximum of 12 through bonuses in game, but you have 10. And once you place them onto a district, they're there the whole game. Now, a district will only score for a majority if there are a total of at least 4 keys in a 2-player game, 4 keys on buildings. So if you put 2 keys out into a district and no other keys get added to that district, you've wasted those keys.
Yeah, it doesn't score at all.
It doesn't score. You can't bring them back. They're
Be
just
a reason
gone.
why Natalie would not want to go
They're
there.
just gone.
Well, you do 3 and go, you know what? Never mind.
Yep, I'm not going to go there now.
Yeah.
That happened to us.
Yeah, there was a couple spots.
There was 2 districts that we both kind of went into thinking like, okay, we're going to get these, and then I didn't go in there because I'm like, she can just spend, and you don't want to waste 4 of your keys on one district, because you only have 10, and there's 6 districts. So if you have 4 of your own keys in one district, okay, yeah, you're gonna win majority there, but now you only have 6 to go across 5 districts.
4
so it's
out
really
of the 6 districts scored.
Yes, we had 4 of the 6 districts score. So the 2 districts that didn't score, I got screwed in one of them, and Natalie got screwed in another one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the game. At the end of the game, it's just whoever has the most victory points is the winner. You get points from those area majorities, which are the main way. There's another way you can get points, which is basically you build, instead of putting a key on a building, there's these landmark tiles off the board. You can build one of those and then exchange some of the resources that you've collected throughout the game to score points that are on that tile as well. Those are in-game points, but most of your points are scored from those districts.
And then the third way to score points is on that bonus track.
Yeah, so there's this bonus track that kind of is around the perimeter of the board, and it's got this cool Agizia or Tokaido kind of mechanism where throughout the game you can move your meeple along these tiles, and all these tiles grant you benefits, but you can never go backward. You can go as far as you want.
I always like that kind of stuff.
But it's cool.
Yeah, I never played a game like with that.
Yeah, that's a very cool mechanism. Yeah, so you could, from the beginning of the game, you could go all the way to the best tile in the whole game and take that right away. But then that's it. Not So that was a big part of our play. In our play that we had, that I would say that probably, maybe if it didn't determine the winner,
I think it did.
It was pretty close to the main reason why the score was so far apart. Okay, so things I liked. I really liked the decision of which district to put your keys in and the fact that you could not move them. Early in the game, Natalie and I didn't play optimally, and that ended up hurting us because, like I said, a district will only score if there's four keys on buildings or landmarks. And Natalie actually built this big landmark tile in one of these districts that didn't end up scoring. And so that was
such a waste.
A waste.
Yeah.
That was for lack of understanding, I think. Our first play,
Yes,
we would do things differently the next. So that's not a knock against the game because honestly, this is what I liked.
Yeah.
This is the big thing I liked about the game. I like that you have to decide, okay, I'm going to put a key here. That district might never score. What if Natalie doesn't ever go in there? Like, hopefully she'll go in there.
You have to commit 4 of them. Or you have to commit 4 of your own keys. Or I have to commit 4 of them. And it's like, oh my gosh. Like that's so, I like that stress. Do I put a couple eggs in this basket, hoping my opponent will go there too? So I really liked that.
Yeah.
I found that mechanism interesting, and interesting is pretty much my thought on the game. So let's get into things I didn't like. While I did find that part interesting, that's the main word I would probably use to describe this game. Interesting. Mm-hmm. I found it interesting. I was never really having a lot of fun. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, that's cool. There's some games you play, and as you're playing, you're just like, wow, this game is fun.
Like Amerigo.
I never felt like Amerigo. We played Amerigo, turn 3, we're like, okay, this is great. Or Teotihuacan, like, oh my gosh, Terra Mystica.
Yeah.
Castles of Burgundy. There's a million games we can think of that when you're playing, you're feeling something. This game, you're not. It was good. Mm-hmm. It was a good game. The mechanisms are cool. They're interesting, but I don't think they're really inherently fun to manipulate. You're just placing a key on a building every turn, paying for it, and moving on. There's not like these super cool abilities or really clever turns that make you feel like you just pulled off something awesome. There's moments where you can kind of do that, like sneak in and be like, "Oh, you maybe didn't think I could build this landmark right now because you're hidden, your resources are hidden, and you build that. Now I have more majority than you." That's it. There's not like really like, okay, I'm gonna, if I do this, I can get that, which lets me get 2 back-to-back turns, which the first one gets me the gold I need to do this one, and then kapow, I got 3 areas in one. Like nothing is, I don't know, it's just like vanilla, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of dull because of that. I want some hot fudge or some caramel or at least some sprinkles. I want some sprinkles.
Or if you're in New England, some Jimmies.
Yeah, some Jimmies. I want some Jimmies. But this is just plain vanilla, which is good. I like vanilla.
I don't like vanilla.
I know. I like vanilla. But vanilla's not fun, right? You don't look at vanilla and be like, oh, baby, we're about to get crunk in here. You look at vanilla with hot fudge and sprinkles and Jimmies, and you're probably still not saying that. But you're really, it's more exciting.
Fudge and sprinkles.
Exactly. I would wager to guess that nobody that plays this game will count it among their favorites. That's my guess. I would also wager to guess that nobody is going to count it among games they strongly dislike. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with this game. There's nothing offensive about this game. There's nothing exciting about it either.
You have a category for this game.
Not great.
Good. Not great.
That was perfect, my friend. That was right. That was perfect. And my incorrect interpretation of don't play an 8. This game will not have a permanent spot in my collection because it's just in the middle of the road. There's nothing you haven't seen before. There's nothing that sets it apart. It's kind of forgettable, except for the way it looks, unfortunately. And then
it is beautiful looking.
Oh my gosh, we set it up, and I was like, "This is."
And I don't
awesome
know if it is
looking.
it the Kickstarter because it's a Kickstarter version, but all the tokens,
the components
all components are just like
ridiculously
they're so thick.
overproduced.
They're big.
in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another thing that's kind of a
like,
bummer.
ugh.
There's again, it might be just the Kickstarter version. I don't know. The middle of the board, the board, like Natalie said earlier, is centered around the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. And there's an actual 3D model of the Arc that you put in the middle of the board. It's cool, but you can't see.
Yeah. Like
We removed it halfway through because I was like, I can't see the
directly
districts
across from
over
me.
there.
I'm like, I can't see what's on there.
But the cool thing is, you just take the top off and put it on the board, and
it's the same thing.
it's same. But so it's kind of like, we would never play with that on the board again.
Yeah, it's aesthetics, but it's not really functional.
It's not. No, it's not. It's like detracts from the functionality. I
Yeah.
think it's not like something that you would not buy the
can't
game
just
because of.
No.
Peek through the arch, just like look.
You could. Yeah, you'd have to like.
No, that's silly.
because it's not
I
like
would,
so
like,
you have to do this. You know,
Yeah.
like what we're doing is we're like lifting with our arms up the chair. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. True. They
You know.
can't see us.
Yeah, they can't see.
But they can't.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you have to, like, stand up
But like, there's
and look
nothing
over
that sets it apart. Like I said, so if I compare it to another Kiesling and Kramer game, The Palaces of Carrara, this game does
you love
not
that game.
hold a candle to that. That game's got that rotating wheel.
It's because Palace of Carrara is awesome.
Player-determined scoring, the tension of the end game goals that change every single game. When someone's going to end the game, it's a home run. Paris is a bloop single. A first down with 80 yards to go. A face-off win. A layup. Or some other menial sports
I
analogy
don't know
that just
any of
means
those.
good.
What's a bloop single?
It's a
Like you
baseball
just like
term.
basically
You
just hit
kinda
it
like-
over the infield. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Like,
like
it's not like a hard hit
you
ball.
don't like
you just kind of
boom, you
like
don't crack it to
Yeah.
left center and then run to first
Yeah.
base and then it's like you're like barely
what we,
hits on a bat and like goes
what we in the Madigan family call Dave Madigan single.
is that what he did?
Yeah.
He could bloop singles all the time?
DMS.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like a horrible disease.
Yeah.
He's got
You got the
DMS.
Dave Madigan
The
single. Yeah.
Or like a
Hey,
Really?
dude's on
You do
base
that
all
a
the
lot?
time.
Really? Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, it works.
Yep.
Again, it works. You're not gonna be disappointed with a bloop single.
Yep.
You know,
But it's not like the best hit.
well, it's
Exactly.
like it's like kind of
works.
embarrassing, but you're on base, so
on
who gives a
base.
shit?
Yeah.
It's like the Moneyball.
Yeah.
Moneyball scenario.
It's like in golf when
get
you
on
like
base.
you like hit the ball and it doesn't go in the air, but it's a dry day, so it rolls really far.
That's
and
exactly
it
what
goes
it
as
is.
far
That
as
is
you would have.
like- it's a- yep.
I'm
That's
like,
the bloop
okay, I'll
single.
take it.
That's Paris.
Yeah,
That's
the old
Paris, right?
The old
That's
worm
good.
burner.
Yeah.
But you don't go out to golf and hope that happens every time. You know what I
No.
mean? You don't want a bloop single.
But it ends up in where it would have ended up if I hit a good
Yeah.
shot anyway. So
You're just
you'll
fine.
take
yeah,
it.
so it's good. It's good. Not great, right? And so that's how I feel about Paris. Natalie, what about you? What do you think?
Not the city, but the game.
yeah.
Like I'm sure Paris is. Just
I've never been there.
wonderful.
I want
Paris
to.
is lovely.
Well, because every game we've played that's been about Paris,
It's
beautiful.
yeah, that's like
yeah.
Because this game is this is gorgeous.
It's a nice
this
looking
is a
game.
gorgeous
It's
looking
really
game.
cool, even how you put it together. All of the pieces fit together
Like
like a
puzzle
puzzle.
pieces.
And like like Ryan said, there's the Arc de Triomphe.
Arc de Triomphe.
And then there's the district surrounding it, and then there's the bonus tile surrounding that, and then there's the point track surrounding that. So it's like this big circular.
It almost looks like
Masterpiece.
what's that 2-player game we played that you hated with the cards that were yeah, the 2-player game with the cards. The 2-player game with the cards about building designs in the sand.
Design. Oh, Realm of Sand.
realms.
No.
Designs
Remember
in the
Lewis?
sand?
Lewis loved it, and then we
Mandala.
Mandala. It's kind of almost what it looks like. It's like the circular kind of pattern that resembles a mandala.
I
Sorry,
see
go
what
ahead.
you're saying.
I mean,
What are you saying?
I mean, she doesn't.
Mostly it means like I
Mostly.
lost my train of thought. Thanks.
Oh, so I'm sorry. So you were talking about the circular board and how
Okay,
it looks
so
good.
it looks really cool. I agree with you. Okay, first of all, I thought the timing mechanic of the game was interesting. Like you said, the game is interesting. I'm not sure if I liked it or not, but it was interesting. So like
Yeah, what do you mean?
the beginning, so the timing of the game is that basically there's all these building tiles. And on your turn, you take a building tile and you put it out, and it's just random
Kangaroo.
for the most part. And then after that, you take your action with the
Right.
key. And so you're just going back and forth, putting out these building tiles as part of your turn. And then once the building tiles are all used up, then there's these like end game tiles that you could take. What?
No,
Why are you looking at
I'm
me?
not.
like
I'm not
that?
even looking at you. I'm not.
What are you doing?
I like you.
Oh my god.
Sorry, end game tiles.
So then there's these end game tiles that you can take, and basically you can only take those after the buildings tiles are all gone and on the board. And then once the end game tiles are used up, that's when the game ends.
Right.
But unlike the building tiles, the end game tiles are like a specific action. So you don't like take an end game tile and then move your key or put out a key.
Right.
That replaces that
Instead
action.
of.
So I don't know. That's like a little different, but I'm not sure. I liked like the end game tile part, but like I think at the beginning of the game that you were kind of like annoyed with the buildings. You're like, what's the point of this? This is stupid.
Yep. Yep. Because it's pretty arbitrary.
Yeah, it's pretty arbitrary. And it's almost like the only reason is to get the building tiles out, even though it's random, and it's to like move the game forward. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I guess. Why don't you start the game with the building tiles already on the board?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I don't really know what it matters putting them out that way. We have to play it more to figure that out. But anyway.
So this was definitely a game for me where I 100% didn't know what I was doing until later on in the game. And then I was like, oh, I totally messed that up. You know, like Ryan said, there was that one district that I got like a high landmark tile on, but that was the only key in the entire district. And so it didn't end up scoring.
Yeah,
because
so it was
in the
wasted.
beginning, I didn't realize... I'm like trying to just kind of go for higher values up front, but that is not a smart idea. You should go for those 1, 2, 3 tiles, because at the beginning I didn't realize how important those prestige tokens are. And that's the only way to get them is to go on the 1, 2, 3 tiles.
Plus, putting out that landmark with the only key there, my incentive to go there is reduced because it's like, well, it's going to take forever for me to
so I
even compete
like,
with you.
skipped all like the resources on there, and then like no one else even went there, and then I was kind of just stuck, and it was just like a waste of a key and waste of money and all that stuff. So now I realize, like, if I ever play this again, you kind of should build it up. You know, you start low and you go high, and you know, you don't ever have to necessarily like spend a ton of money later on if you do it that way, because you're just paying the difference in the cost.
Yep.
And so like I kind of screwed myself because I was like skipping a lot of these low tiles, which gives you these prestige tokens, and the prestige tokens are good because they can give you points for landmarks, or they can have you, or going on the 1, 2, 3s also let you take the bonus tiles, which Ryan said there's like 30 of them. And I started using that early on, and then I stopped.
You ran out.
I ran out. So I was like midway through, and at the end of the game, Ryan was getting all these like higher bonus tiles that were giving him points.
Tons
and
of points.
I literally couldn't take a single one because there was no possible way for me to move a key onto a 1, 2, 3 tile, which lets you take
all her
tile.
keys were above those tiles, and you can never go down.
Yeah, you can never go down. They were either above those tiles, or Ryan was on one of those tiles.
Ryan.
And I couldn't
Pesky
move on the
old
same
Ryan.
tile as him, blah, blah, blah. So that was kind of frustrating. And then, like you said, the area majority thing, honestly, those are not, I don't mind them. Like, I like playing them, but I usually get frustrated with those.
Is it because of the inherent interactiveness?
Yeah.
That it just feels like one of us is getting butthurt a little bit?
Yeah.
Like,
what frustrates me, because like you said, it's either you or me. And so what's frustrating is like I think that I'm winning these, and then you just got to do like one thing, and all of a sudden you're winning all of them, and I'm winning none of them.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's nothing I can do, and it's just like, it's
God,
not
that
like
Ryan guy.
yeah, it's not
You
like
always seem to play games with him. He does stuff like that. He schemes. He sits there. He schemes. He makes these plans. He always says, "Natalie, you're gonna win this game," and then he's scheming over here. He's scheming, and then he's like, "Oh, I won." Remember when I said earlier
It didn't
that
happen
you were
this
gonna
time.
win?
There was no scheme. Well, I mean, why is that always when Ryan wins the game? He schemed to victory.
you didn't scheme. You
Everyone
just played it.
schemes.
I
Yeah.
just kind
it's
of like
hilarious.
messed up early on, and then it ruined my game later. Like I didn't set myself
Yes.
up to do
And you
well
didn't
in the
realize
later
it
game.
until it happened to you.
Right, and
You were
so,
just kind of like, oh,
That sucks. That's
no.
what
I
makes
mean,
the game
it was
not fun.
frustrating,
Yeah.
but also like I 100% understood. Like I see what I did wrong. I would totally do it different next time. So like it's not a knock
Do you
against
think,
the game
though?
at all.
Okay, so what I want to ask you is, do you think that hampered your enjoyment of the game in general? Do you think if you played it again that different way, you would find it fun where you didn't this game?
But that's the thing.
Because I don't think so.
I don't
for me.
think so either, because I don't think, because I mean, I play games sometimes where like I know I'm not doing well and I would do differently, but I'm still like having a lot of fun just playing it. And I didn't really feel that in this game. You know, like I would definitely play it. It's like you said, good, not great. I would totally play it again, but if I didn't play it again, I don't think I'd be upset about it. That's my
Okay.
thoughts.
Well, that's Paris. So if we had to collectively rank Paris de la Lumière, the walking dinner in Paris, and this, I think dinner in Paris is probably coming out the best so far of all those
Even though we
for
didn't play
us. Yeah. Yeah. Well, because Jeff seemed to
I would
really
think
enjoy that.
Yeah.
Based
We
on,
thought Paris de Lumière was really good, but not for us.
Yeah.
And then Paris was,
Now you just need to play Colors of Paris.
yeah,
And you need
Colors
to
in
play.
Paris.
Oh, did
There's
we
a game-
not play that?
We did play that. We owned it.
Colors in Paris.
Yeah, remember we
Sounds
owned it?
really
I think we
familiar.
played
With
it
the
at
wheel?
Gen Con
Yeah, we
once.
bought it. We
is
bought
it
it,
the art
played it.
one?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, the art
Yeah,
one.
Gen
Yeah.
Con. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was eh.
Yeah.
So
I
probably
think
Dinner in
this-
Paris might be
this
the winner.
This Paris we just played is better than Colors in Paris.
Do you think that
I
if
thought.
this was named like Barcelona, we'd like it better?
Definitely. Because theme in this game is everything. No. Honestly, I think I would like it better if it was about bathing in a gravel pit full of kangaroos. I think I would enjoy
That's a
it.
theme
I
that
think I
has
would.
not been tapped.
That's
in the
underrepresented,
game
wouldn't you
industry.
say?
Yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of those.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm
man.
here to design. I'm gonna throw out to Kiesling and Kramer. Can you please design a game?
See if it does.
Oh snap! We're about to get some Taco Bell for the birthday kids.
Yep, birthday kids.
Kids,
We all have
you're
birthdays.
so much older than us
When's your birthday? December 12th. What year? Every year.
every year.
Oh, man.
All right, Jeff.
Well, what
that's
should
it
we do?
for
Take
Paris.
a break
What
or
do
should
you
we
got?
go? Oh, they're on their way.
Oh, no,
Let's
they're
go.
on their way
All right, so
still.
I want to talk about
We'll
a...
abruptly cut you
Yeah,
off
we'll
when they
just be
get
like,
here.
yeah, we'll just be like, and we'll be back.
Jeff, no, Jeff.
Yeah. So I want to talk about a new Eagle Griffin game.
Ooh,
I love Eagle Griffin,
Egg.
man. They got some games.
yeah, they do. They got some really good stuff.
Games.
They make all of the new Vital Lacerda
Yeah.
games. which-
I don't know how they reeled him in. I don't know if there's some contract that they have now with,
so he doesn't design specifically for them. I don't. Yeah,
but they just get them all, right?
well, so a lot of his games went through, like, I think Stronghold had Kanban for a long
yeah, and
time.
Z-Man has Vinos.
Until Eagle Griffin. I don't know how
Yeah.
he's involved. I don't know if he's involved at all there. I have no
Okay.
idea. But they just make the deluxe versions. which
Yeah,
are
man, they're
so great.
So this game has great production and great art also. This game is called Maniacal.
Oh.
This was the game I sent you, speaking of scheming, I sent you the scheme card, a picture of a scheme card. You
Oh,
remember
that was the idea.
This was Maniacal.
I do remember that.
So Maniacal went through a little name change. They had a Kickstarter a while ago, and as usual, it's always a while ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
They initially wanted to call the game Infamous.
That's a cool name.
Okay, cool name. I guess they got a letter of
Yeah,
stop.
a cease
What
and
is it?
desist.
Yeah, from I don't know if it was DC or Disney. I would have to look it up again. But some big company was like,
Nah,
"We
bro.
have Infamous. Sorry, you can't
It's a
do
board
it."
game?
And no, just
Just
they,
the
they
name
own
is
the name.
copyright or trademark.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Really?
That's weird.
Infamous
so-
is just like a regular word. It's not like
Yeah, but I
some-
think when you want to call it something, it changes the meaning of the word. I don't know. So
Maniacal is a cool name too.
Maniacal
yeah, I
is
think
a cool name.
Maniacal's
This is-
actually cooler.
This
than-
is
Yeah.
better than the Chaosmos
Yes.
Cosmic
Yes.
Factory nonsense.
yeah, or
Improved it.
Rampage City.
Rampage, Terror, and Maple City.
Yeah,
which
Rampage.
isn't
and Terror.
terrible.
That's not bad. So this,
But this
is what
is
went
better.
from Infamous. So people backed it, I think, as Infamous, and then they shifted to Maniacal, and I don't think people complain too much about it because Maniacal
cool.
is a cool.
That's a
name.
cool word.
That
So-
is cool, yeah.
And so there's this theme that's been running now with board games and also movies is this superhero theme, right?
Yep.
You know, these
Yeah.
Marvel and DC games, and what's the other comic one that you had that was a card?
Yeah, it's super. Sentinels of the Multiverse.
Yeah, Sentinels of the, like that theme is
game.
awesome and people gravitate toward that. So this is a little different. This is a super villain game. So you
Oh.
are not a superhero, you are a super villain.
Maniacal.
Yeah.
You're a maniac. on the
And you
floor.
compete to be the most infamous.
Oh!
Which is why
Are they allowed to
wanted
say that?
call it, yeah.
Right.
Sorry. Beep. We can't say that. Sorry. Don't sue us. So
sue
in this game, this game is really light. Okay, it's not a very heavy game. This is a game that's built around the theme of being a supervillain, getting henchmen,
Yeah.
doing these weird things
Yeah.
around the globe. Like it's almost just funny to just play it, right? So it's not like a very heavy game. So
Okay.
think of it as kind of an intro. You might play it with nons.
Art looks really cool. In the
So
box.
the art is super
Oh,
cool.
man.
It's very comic-y, but like intense,
Yeah.
It's very cool. So you start with a supervillain. So you pick a supervillain. I forget what his name was, but I was like an evil monkey. So I was like an
Okay.
evil gorilla monkey.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it takes place over 3 rounds, and in each round there's sort of a different mechanic. So I'm gonna get to all these like mechanics later, but you start with a card draft, and you card draft these super secret base rooms, right? So you need to
Okay.
have like your layer, right? So you start with this. So I would have a hand of 4. I'd pick one and I'd pass it, and I would either sell it for the money or I would build that in my layer. So now my personal player area would have my my supervillain, the assistant that it comes with, and then you'd start to build up these base rooms, right? This secret base. And you do that, so that's like the first part of the round. And in these rooms, they give you like special abilities. They also then move you up on these different tracks. Okay, the higher you rise on the tracks, the more likely you are to get these evil henchmen. So that's the next phase. So the next phase, after you pick your rooms, you look at where you are on these 4 tracks. So the 4 tracks will attract. Get it? Attract? They will attract these different henchmen, either beasts, criminals, scientists, or mystics. So the farther you are up on the mystics, so maybe I took the secret layer that is the gravity room or something. So I took that, and that allowed me to go up on the beast track. Okay. So now I'm looking at these 4 tracks, and if I'm farthest along the beast or the criminal or the science track, I then get to buy these henchmen. Okay, and these henchmen are just a bunch of cards, and they also give you cool powers. They give you the ability to go do stuff.
Mr. Moist.
Mr. Moist. I have that written down. It's like the funniest one in there.
Mr. Moist.
Yeah. So they have all these really creative names, goofy like art.
Yeah, this is cool
and
artwork.
It's got such an awesome look. So after you evaluate those tracks and you get your henchmen, they join your evil team, and then all of your little player tokens kind of move down to this time track. So the first, second, and third round all have these time tracks at the end, and you're then spending time to do these evil tasks around the world. Okay. So the first one is a little short. You only get like 8 time units, and then you get 10 or 12. And you have to like plan accordingly. So on your turn, you can spend one of your henchmen to go into your room and activate the room, whatever the room does. Or you can send henchmen out, because the board is a gigantic map of the
world, right?
Yeah. So it's a map of the world, and you can send your henchmen to different areas to go do that secret mission. Okay. The secret mission on the front, it just says like what level of difficulty it is, and then how many people can go, and it gives you a suggestion. Like if it's something there you need to like break or steal, you might need the criminals, right?
Okay.
So you want to send criminals there because they have a higher chance of passing that, to completing that evil mission.
Got it.
So then you complete the evil mission. All the evil mission is you roll dice. So if I send a criminal and a beast to go do something, I take the criminal die, which I forget what color it is, and the beast die, which I forget what color it is, orange, red, blue, and whatever.
Yep.
And I take those and I roll it. And I'm looking for just successes. So I need a certain amount of successes in order to pass this evil mission, right? If I pass, I get some points and a bonus. If I fail, something silly happens to me. I do get a couple points, but it says something like, it's very creatively written where it says, you slipped and fell and now you're in the hospital and no one likes you. Like, it's kind of funny. So you do that and you get points by activating rooms and going and doing these evil missions all the way around the world. And that's what you do. You do that 3 times. So you draft, you get henchmen, and you do evil missions 3 times, 3 rounds. And then you just get points. And then you have the most infamous player wins.
Well, beep.
Oh, sorry.
Beep, beep, beep. Although it would be kind of cool if Disney sent a cease and desist to us just to
That'd be
talk
awesome.
to us.
Yeah,
Like,
that would be
oh, we
cool.
got something.
Like,
I'd frame
thanks.
it. I'd frame it. Yeah.
It's like Mickey with a middle finger. Like,
And
Yes.
we matter.
You better cut it
That would be
out.
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what I think. Maniacal is such a cool theme. It's fun to play, and I think that's what's going to attract people to the game.
Yeah.
It is something that it's not going to burn my brain. It's not going to be something where I'm like, boy, I want to play Trismegistus so I can think really hard. This is one that's like, I want to read these silly things on the card.
And have a
I want to
goofy
pick up a
time.
card that says Mr. Moist and laugh about
That
it.
is pretty
Yeah.
funny.
And just have these like kind of fun moments. There's like one of the contracts that we did was like you're turning puppies into gold bricks. Like so it's just like they're just really funny.
that's
It
funny.
reminds me of like the henchman always reminds me of Austin Powers, where like
Yeah.
henchman turning wrench. It's like you're sending those people to do all these evil
Arbitrary
things.
tasks,
Yeah,
yeah.
or like it's like, you know, what does Dr. Evil do and all these things? Wants to blow up the world
Yep.
or how it's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
For
So
the minions.
For $1 million.
yeah, and there's a lot of what's kind of weird is when I read the rulebook, there's a lot of like mechanics. There's a lot of mechanisms in Maniacal, right? There's card drafting. You have to fulfill these contracts by rolling dice. You have time management. You have some player powers. You have some take that, because if Ryan sends his henchman to go do a mission, I can play a scheme card that like throws a wrench into his mission, because I want to be the most infamous. I don't want Ryan's Mr. Moist to go out there. I want my guy to go out there. So I could play a card on that. So there's a little bit of player interaction, and it all kind of for how much it doesn't really invent the wheel with any of those things. Nothing new about card draft. There's nothing new about dice rolling to complete missions. But
it was
they all
fun.
all kind of work together, right? They're all fine. I don't feel like I was jumping between things and then having to like, oh, now I got to take out this part of the game to do that. I never felt like that, so it all kind of worked. But it was
you don't
nothing.
have to reinvent the wheel. I think as long as they're having a good time.
Yeah, and it was nothing new. So if you're looking for something that's like a brand new type of game, right? Like I'm looking at My City of like, wow, taking polyominoes, I'm gonna make it into a legacy game.
That's cool.
You're not gonna get anything brand new, but you're gonna get creativity. You're gonna get something that's really fun. The art is amazing, and it's just kind of cool to play. There's obviously randomness in dice rolling because it's just dice rolling. But does it bother you that you didn't turn puppies into gold bricks? Maybe, but you're also thinking about it, and it's kind of funny.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
So I think that the theme, the creativity is going to keep people coming back. I think nons will play it a lot. Nons, like people who don't play games. If this is your first time listening to this game.
Yeah, non is
podcast,
our term for
that's
a non-gamer.
Yeah, non-gamer, the nons. I think it's a cool way if you have family and friends over. It plays up to 5 or, I don't want to say 6, but 5 for sure. If you have friends coming over for holidays, this is a game to just get nons to play.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
Who wouldn't want to be this supervillain doing these?
Yeah, everybody can
These
identify
things.
with that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So that's going to keep people coming back to this game. It's not super heavy.
Awesome.
So I would look into it.
Pick it up.
Just for theme and fun.
What do you think,
funness.
Natalie?
Yeah,
I
Natalie.
didn't play this game.
So that was called Maniacal.
Maniacal.
In fact, I've never even heard of it.
Oh.
Well, no, Jeff just
Now
talked
you
about
had.
it.
Have you heard of Infamous? I mean, beep.
beep, beep, beep. All right, man. So what else have you been playing?
Oh, I've been just playing, guys.
You
I've been just playing games.
You're such a player.
Let's take a little turn and go into our family
Wait.
games. Kids/family games.
That was not supposed to sound like a cat. It was supposed to be a turn car.
Oh,
But it sounded like
meow.
a cat. I
Oh,
was
turn
like,
the car around. Meow.
Turn the car around.
Your squealing tire sound is.
I was.
It's more like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What
Yeah. Something like that. So
Okay.
now we're going to talk about
We're
kids
turning.
and family games.
Yes.
I lent you guys and gave you guys, well, you can keep it.
Thanks.
The game Robots.
Dude, robots. Okay, Jeff talked about this last episode.
Yes, last episode, Robots.
Was it the last one?
I think so.
Maybe 2 ago. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, who can tell? That was
Dan will
months
know.
ago at this point.
Where are our show notes at, Dan?
There's a Family Guy joke where someone tells Peter, like, you have 2 days. He's like, 2 days? That's tomorrow. That's how it feels like. Anyway, Jeff explained robots the last or 5 episodes ago. And I was kind of like, okay, might be fun for the kids. I did not anticipate how much fun this was going to be for us.
For all of us, yeah.
That's cool.
Man, was that cool.
played-
I'm glad.
We loved
I think we
it.
played it 3 times in a row.
And we want to play it. We want to keep playing.
Yeah.
Lexi asks about it all the time. It is so stupid simple. It's one of those games where it's like, oh my, why didn't
Yeah.
we think of this? It was
Right.
nominated for the Kinderspiel, you said?
Yep.
I think.
Okay, yeah.
Good God, it's like,
It was really fun.
it's just
It
some
was
no-
really
stupid
there's nothing,
icons on
yeah.
a card and you
Yeah.
beep a certain amount of time.
And,
Man,
like-
is it fun.
And then another thing that's good about it for a kid game is that it's cooperative, which there's no sore losers.
Yes, no sore
And
losers.
so we're all like working together, and that's just even better.
Now, let me tell you this. We played with Cameron and Lexi. All right, Cameron is just about to be 9, but he's 8, and Lexi's just turned 7 a couple months ago. And they were savants at guessing or interpreting our beeps and how
Yeah.
long we
Hey.
every time.
got
Right? You said
skills.
Cameron got it
yeah.
every time.
Even if we didn't go with his answer, whatever he said was the right answer.
But when when it was their turn to give the clues, they were trash.
Luckily,
Be
started
consistent,
figuring it
guys.
out.
Yeah, after about an
Okay.
hour of play, Lexi kind of got it.
Yeah.
You know, we
The
still
video
weren't
you
getting
sent
any
me was
points, but
cool. The video you sent me,
Yeah.
because she just,
That was at the
Lexi
end
was
when
just
she
so
figured it
into
out.
She
it.
was so.
Cool.
That's what I wanted you to see. Was
Yeah.
like she loved it.
Yeah.
Cameron, after a while, was kind of like, okay, and Lexi was like, let's play again.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. I don't care.
So that's an easy $15 game to
I'll
add
play
to
it
your
solo.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
collection.
And
to
all it
just-
is
yeah.
like some
Beep, beep,
little
that one.
wooden
Beep.
tokens
Oh, what's wrong?
and
Yeah.
some cards.
And cards with
That's
squiggly
it.
lines and
It's
shapes.
tiny.
It's
Now,
yeah,
again,
it's-
I'm angry that I didn't come up with it.
yeah.
It's really
Amazing
fun.
game.
Yeah.
Robots.
By Pandasaurus.
Or bots, as the kids call it.
So I want to talk about 2 more kids family games. So I'm gonna lump these into family game category. The first one is called Sock Monsters.
Man, those pictures you posted of this
And
game.
It is
Oh.
so cool. So it's just has a really fun theme. So the idea, and Ryan said earlier, but I posted on Instagram, like, where do all these missing socks go? Right? There's always this
Yeah.
this old, this old fashioned mom joke of like, oh, these socks are missing in the laundry, right?
I understand
So-
that
has
once I
the
started
left
living with
sock.
Ryan and his kids.
Yeah, Natalie answered that question, if you remember, under the game table.
Yeah.
Which is must be where Ryan puts all of his socks.
He would sit at the game table, somehow just shimmy his socks off with his feet, and then I'd be doing laundry, and he'd be like, I don't have any socks, and I'd be like, look under
Like
the
a
game
pile of
There's
them.
like 10 pairs of socks.
They were having a convention.
They
Or
were
like
hanging
your
That's
out.
all
kids
it
are
was.
exactly the
Social
same. It's like
distance.
they get home from like being out somewhere and they just immediately
Rip
take their
all
socks
their
off and
clothes
throw
off?
Yeah.
them. And so I'm just picking up random socks all over the house.
Okay, what is more satisfying? Like socks are so fun to throw when you like put one
ball
sock
them
inside
up.
the other and it's this little ball and you
Yeah.
just want to whip it. Oh,
Yeah,
it feels
there's
so
socks in the kitchen,
good.
socks under the coffee table.
Socks in the kitchen
Socks
sounds
on
like a
the-
cool
Socks
game
in the
name.
kitchen.
There's some socks in the kitchen. Cook them socks on the grill.
Sock Monsters takes advantage of that little joke, and we try to figure out where all these missing socks are.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
published by Lifestyle Board Games, which is another Russian publisher. Our
Oh,
comrades.
Oh, comrade lifestyle.
Hello. So shout
Sock
out
Monster.
to them. It's not released here yet, but it is going to be soon. So if you actually like the box is in front of us, so we're looking at it, you can see where it says lifestyle, and then underneath it says your logo.
Your logo.
So they're getting U.S. distributors
Yep.
who want to put it in the U.S.
Yep.
So that's
Okay,
what you
got
sell it to, right? So you sell it to a distributor, and then they would be able to
I gotcha.
kick it out. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to see this soon. It's getting some positive feedback, so it's really cool. So it's a memory game where players take the role of little elves, and you're trying to tidy up the house, okay? And you're trying to collect pairs of socks. So you need matching pairs of socks.
Okay.
So the game comes with like 5 different colors of socks and then a whole bunch of little socks, right? So a lot of socks. How many socks do you
It
want?
was a sock monster.
But you have to be careful of these sock monsters. There's 4 little plastic sock monsters that will be roaming around the board that can
The
take
monsters
your
are so
socks.
cute.
They're
Yeah,
cool.
the monsters are
They're
really
adorable.
cool. Yep. And on your turn, what you do is you take your little pawn and you just move 0, 1, 2, or 3 spaces.
Okay.
And you flip over the tile that your pawn is on. And if it matches your color, then you keep it face up. You put your pawn back, and then you get to draw 2 random socks out of the bag.
Nice.
Okay. If they match, great. If they don't, they just sit next to it until you hopefully have a match.
Okay.
And then after you take your turn, the sock monster takes a turn. So the person next to you will roll a die, and it'll tell you which sock monster to move. And then you move the sock monster again up to 3 spots. And what's very cool is underneath all the sock monsters are a die. Okay, so there's a die under there. And so you don't pick the sock monster up, you like almost roll
Slide
them.
it.
Okay.
And as it's sliding or rolling across this board, it's flipping the dice.
Oh,
Which is pretty cool.
that's
So it's a pretty cool mechanic. So once the sock monster stops, you pick it up. If the eye is closed, it's sleeping and doesn't do anything. If it's open, it can take socks from you if it's next to you, right?
okay.
So then it takes your socks. And you do that until someone has 3 pairs of socks.
So it's true. In Soviet Russia, sock monster rolls you.
Yeah. So you just do that until you get 3 pairs, and then
Oh my
that's it.
gosh, I'm so excited to play all
It
these
was-
games with
Me
them.
too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff, for
Yeah,
bringing these
of
over.
course. I think it was so
This
fun.
is
I
so
played
awesome.
this and the next one I'm going to talk about with my 2 nieces, and they had a blast. It was really fun to watch them move the little sock monster. Don't take my sock, or trying to get the right one out. Sock. It only took like 20 minutes. I think it's a cool way to practice like memory, because if I'm the blue player and I flip over the tile and it's not blue, I flip it back. So now
I know
Ryan
there's blue
being
there.
the white player, he has to go on that tile eventually.
Yep.
Because if I'm on there, he can't go on it. So he has to wait for a whole round to then
So
go
I
on
gotta
there and then flip
remember,
it.
okay,
You gotta
that
remember
was the
where it
blue
is.
one.
So that's kind of cool to practice. Obviously, as an adult, you could just dominate the game. Although I was like, I feel like I only had 2 socks the entire game, because every time I went on a spot, there was just not mine. No one
really?
flipped over my color. It was just funny. And the next one I want to talk about was just incredible. This was my favorite of the kids games we
Really?
played.
Ooh,
this one
nice.
is called Pika Mouse. And
Like
Pika
Pikachu.
Another
Mouse,
memory.
yeah, Pika Mouse is so if you were American and you were to look at the publisher of this game, you would probably call it Gigamic.
Or
Gigamic.
Gigamike.
So it is a French publisher. So I'm gonna go with Gigamic.
En français. En français.
Gigamic, yeah. No.
En français.
So this is
What is that, French Santa Claus?
yeah. Ho, ho, ho.
Is that what it is?
Oh, no, the
No, they're like
joke.
laughing in
They're all
French class.
laughing.
I know that's a joke. Did I not do it right?
You sounded like
It kinda
French
was like
Santa
a-
Claus.
I thought I sounded like them.
No, it's like ho 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 ho. You were like ho ho ho.
It's like my Bill Cosby impression.
Oh boy, let's hear that.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. All right.
What is it going to be? Just sexual assault? Hey.
No, it's like no, I'm not.
No,
doing
okay.
I
it.
know you. Wait, hold on. Now
Take a
you
deep
got to
breath.
do it. Now you took a deep breath.
Okay.
Okay, you got to do it now. It's just going to be about pudding.
Yeah.
Of course. Let's hear it.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Natalie, Bill Cosby.
I haven't done this in a long time.
This is pre-felon
I don't
Bill
know what's
Cosby.
gonna come out of my mouth. Okay. No, I can't do it.
No, you're doing it. It's happening.
Oh man.
I don't know. I can't.
Natalie,
I can't.
we have just hyped this up.
Okay,
You're
ready?
Doing, yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
The pudding in the
That was wonderful. This is great.
Keep going. That was funny.
All I got is pudding in the pop, which doesn't make sense. That's what I do.
That's it. Bill Cosby.
Happy birthday.
This game is called Pika Mouse
Okay.
by Gigamik.
Gigamik.
Game.
But
Okay.
that's not even the designer.
No, that's just that's the publisher. You may know this company. So if you've never seen this company before or recognize it, they make those Quarto games, those big wooden, chunky kind of puzzly sort of games. That's them.
I love that game.
And
by the way,
yeah,
Quarto.
those games are really cool. So this is a pretty cool game. So you open the box up and you actually have to construct this house in this box. You have to put these rooms together. And then once you put the rooms together, you put them in between the box lids. So
Was
the box
this your
lids makes a
question on
house.
Instagram of what
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
asking about how
games have
boxes
a
are
cool
used in
box?
unique ways.
Yeah.
I love that about games like this, where it takes a component necessary in the game and it's just the box.
Oh, I thought of one that no one said,
Ooh,
and I
what is
didn't
it?
write it on your Instagram. Ice Cool.
Yeah, Ice Cool.
That was said a number of
It
times.
was? No, it was not.
Maybe 3 times. That's why I didn't.
I'll look.
That's why I didn't write it down.
No,
because
I
people
looked
said it.
and it wasn't on
I'm
there.
going to show you right now.
We're gonna look.
Maybe there
while
was
I do
more
this.
I'm going to prove you wrong.
So anyway, I'll talk while Ryan's checking this. There's the two lids of the box go together, and they sit kind of on top of these rooms. So it creates this sort of 3-dimensional house. And around the box are these little windows, so you can peek in and you look into different rooms. Peek a mouse. Get it?
Peek a mouse.
Peek a mouse.
And this is an observation and memory game, so you have to look and then remember. I'm pausing to try and
Was there
find it
even
again
a
or no.
mouse in there?
No, so the theme is that these mice have moved into your house, and they are stealing things and bringing it back to their house.
Oh, okay.
It's the third comment by Swoozle.
Swoozle.
Wow, this looks incredibly good. Awesome table presents. Ice Cool is the one that I've gotten my hands on so far. That's the first one. And there's still like 30 other
Well,
comments.
maybe
hanging
the
out there.
first one post that he made didn't have it.
This was 3 days ago.
No, I mean like the first.
Maybe when you looked, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
No, it was there.
Exactly.
No, it
I
was
guess
there.
we're.
Damn it.
Totally was there.
This is an argument we should be
Plain old
having.
wrong. Prove me wrong on my birthday.
And also, Mayor Trash Talk says Ice Cool uses its box in an awesome way, and we love Ice Cool. Oh, and then BG Heaven Monster says Slaughter uses the box. Arcana Ice Cool.
my bad.
So someone said it. That's okay. You didn't have to go through all the comments on
Thought
the
of one
post.
that nobody said because I didn't bother to read all the comments.
It's like because she said it, she's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I know what I thought. You didn't say it.
you didn't. Oh, Ryan didn't say
Okay,
it.
let's change it all
In
now.
Ryan's
And
face.
I didn't say it
You had
because
like
it was already
you
said
had
3
like a-
times.
You had like a list of them, and I was like, he didn't even say ice cool.
Because it was already said.
That's great. Oh, man.
Jesus.
Sorry. Anyway,
Anyway, Pika
peek 'em
Mouse.
out.
Yeah.
So as Natalie said, the theme is these mice have built this house, which is the box. They have stolen stuff from your house, and when the mice are gone, you have to look to see what
they
they
got in
stole
their
to
rooms.
decorate their house, right?
Yeah, your little
And-
like skeevy pervs.
So yeah,
peeping tomming in this house.
Yeah.
ages 5 to 9, and oh man, off the rails.
Yeah.
I can't wait. He does something like that. What am I supposed to do?
So there are windows on this box. So now you need to picture the box and this room inside. There is a flashlight that goes on top of the box, and you push the button, and the flashlight stays on for 30 seconds.
so cool.
So,
so
as you
cool.
push the flashlight, you have to then now stare in these windows.
It
and there's
illuminates
4
all the-
rooms. It illuminates all the rooms, and you look and you try to find out where all these little wooden tokens that you put in this box are. So you shake up the box and you're there, and you have to now see where all them are, and you also have to see what side they're on. So one side has like a die on it and it has a 1 pip, and the other side has a 6 on it. So you have to know what spot it's in, what room, and also what side of the token that it's on.
Mm-hmm.
And when the light turns off, you have to stop looking. So you literally have to move away from it. And then the game comes with these like built-in questions. Okay, there's 4 different levels of questions. And the questions are things like, are these 2 items in the same room? What items are in this room? Is this item in the same room as this item? And it just asks you a few questions, and you answer them, and you get 1 point for each of them.
all
And you're
testing
working
your memory.
together,
Yeah.
testing your memory. And it's just a really fun experience. It's so cool. We played with my nieces, and Joe and I were playing, and it was getting like way past their bedtime, and they were like, "Well, let's just keep playing. We just want to keep playing." They're like, "I want to play this with my friends." And Delaney just got like a phone for her birthday, for their first phone. She was like taking pictures inside the window. She was like, it was just they were just so engaged in the game that it was that much more fun, right? Like Maisie was looking in the window and yelling like, "Oh, the pond's over here!" You know, you're just like yelling.
Yeah.
So you're trying to like listen to her, but also see what else is in there. It was a real blast that I'm looking forward to just keep playing, and I'm really excited to see what Lexi and Cameron and Scarlett can play this game too. What your kids think?
I am
it's gonna be
so
this is
excited
another one
to
that
play this
seems
with
like
them.
it's fun for the adults and the kids. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of games where like the kids love it, and you're like, okay, I'll play with you, but it kind of sucks.
Well, we just kind of
know?
played it before the show,
and played around.
We were
you know,
like, this was
after
so
the light
cool.
went off, I was like, "Oh God, I forgot everything I saw."
Joe was the same way. Joe was like, my short-term memory's terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's fun.
But we played one
for
round
me.
before the show, and I was kind of like, oh, we're not going to play the rest of the rounds.
Oh, sorry. You could have just said something. We
Did
could've
you
played
really?
them.
Yeah. Why didn't you just ask?
My
We
point
would've
is,
played.
my point is like,
You want to
liked
play it
it.
again.
Right.
yeah, I want to play it again.
Well, part of this has this amazing table presence. Mm-hmm. The artwork is so cute. The tokens are really nice and chunky. The flashlight, the way it like fits in the top of the box, and you press it on and it illuminates the thing.
It illuminates.
I mean,
like,
that is
only
the
inside.
coolest thing
Yeah,
ever.
it's so cool.
Yeah, this will be when this hits like around the world. I think this is going to be a hit. Like I think this is going to be a game that people are going to want.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah,
It's very-
and
it's
what's
not out yet.
I don't believe it's out here yet, but it's soon. I think it's very soon.
Peak
But what's
of
funny
March.
is on the box. So sometimes you get these games like Sock Monster says like 6+ or 10+.
Yeah.
This literally says 5 to 9. So it's like ages 5 to 9.
we were not allowed to play.
We weren't allowed to
We
play,
were
but we did
should
it.
not have played it.
Older
She's
than
technically
me.
she would be older, but she had so much fun playing
but-
it.
Well, like we did too.
Yeah.
And we were,
Yeah, well, I don't know why they don't say 5+.
right.
Yeah,
that's
no,
weird.
I don't
Probably
know
be at
what
least 5, but
Yeah.
no older than 9.
No. How old are you? 10. Beat it.
Get out of here. Get out of
Go
here.
play
Well,
something
you can't
else.
play till July.
Go play Sock Monsters if you want.
Yeah, get out of here. Do you want me to keep talking about games?
Sure, man.
Okay,
What you
so
got?
out of family games, so that was Robots, so go pick up that one, Sock Monsters, and Pika Mouse. So put those on your list of
Very cool.
Yes.
Of games.
And again, if you have played
Family
just
games.
if you just play with a game group and you don't have kids, don't buy these.
Right.
Okay, like you're not going to enjoy it. But if you have a family and you have some kids that are in your life, or you know somebody who has kids and you want to buy them a game and get them into the hobby, these are awesome.
because these are not the typical games you're going to find at Target.
Exactly.
Right.
know what I mean?
It's not like Trouble. Like,
They're not playing Candyland
Move
or
3.
Trouble.
This is the game
Yeah.
they're gonna. If you get a game like Pika Mouse, I feel like that's a game that they'll remember. So like what you had with Omega Virus.
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like this is that kind of a
Like,
game where when they grow
whoa.
up, they're gonna be like,
Remember that
What was
game,
that
Pika
game where you
Mouse?"
had an actual flashlight you put
had
in
to
the
stare in
top
the
of the box?
windows
I
and-
agree. I
yeah.
like remember. I don't even know the name of the game, but that game when
Peep
I was
Tom.
a kid, where you make the bugs out of like Play-Doh and then you squash them with a foot.
Yeah,
Oh.
right.
I don't remember
what
the
was
name,
that?
but I remember.
I thought
vividly
Cooties right away, but it's not
doing-
Cooties.
Yeah, no,
Cooties
no,
was
I
the
remember what
rolling
you're talking
dice.
about.
Yeah, and and it says like a word imprinted on the foot too.
Yeah.
and whatever that was, I remember vividly like doing
Yeah.
that.
So I think this is a
Thinking
game
so
that will
fun.
like make those memories.
Yeah, those
that Pika
memories
Mouse.
will be made
Yeah.
for this. That's cool.
Check those out. I got another game by.
Man. Is this a grown up game?
Yeah, this is a grown-up
Grown-up
game. This is
game.
more of a grown-up
Moving
game,
on to
but
grown-up
a
games.
grown-up game that's probably more intro level. This is
Okay.
also by Gigamic.
Oh, another
Gigamic game. Yep, this is also another Gigamic. This is called Quetzal, or Quetzal's
Is it
Pretzels.
is it a soft Quetzal?
A soft Quetzal
Or a hard Quetzal?
If you want
Quetzals.
cheese with your Quetzal, go to Quetzal's Pretzels. Is it Wetzel's Pretzels? Is that the mall one?
Yeah.
Quetzal's-
So Quetzal, Quetzal, which apparently is the
Quetzal.
city of sacred birds. I don't know if it means
Oh, is that
something.
in Mexico?
Okay,
Sounds like
but
it.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Let's
it.
go with yes.
Okay.
I didn't.
Or it's
I didn't
like some
do
sort
that.
of Latin.
How about I
city.
look it up?
Yeah. So I think it's
you talk, I'll look up.
And so it means the city of sacred birds. There is not a bird theme to this, so I'm don't really know why they use the tag, but they did anyway. And so this is a set collecting worker placement game that is on the, like I said earlier, an intro level gaming.
Yeah.
Probably a gateway sort of level. I would say if it's on BGG, it's probably like around that 2 area. You have a Quetzal
Quetzals
update?
are strikingly colored birds in the Trogon
they're birds?
family.
Oh, so maybe the Quetzal is a bird.
Maybe I'm
Because
thinking
when I
something
typed
else.
in Quetzal, the first thing that came up was Quetzalcoatl. Like
Oh.
coatl.
Yeah.
And then I got rid of coatl and just typed Quetzal. And then it said, based on your recent activity, do you mean Quetzal snake? Which is like the feathered snake
Yeah.
from Quetzal. And then, Quetzals are strikingly colored birds in the Trogon family. They're found in forests, especially in humid highlands, and they have absolutely nothing to do with Mexico. That's what it says. That's what it says
weird.
here.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyone who thinks that is
There's
a
another
big
Mexican
fat
city
jerk.
that starts with Q or something.
yeah, well, there's probably a few of them.
Nah.
So, set collecting worker placement game. This game has a unique, one unique thing in this game. Okay, so
Okay. What
what
is
you're
it?
doing is you're
Pretzels?
sending. Yeah, it comes with pretzels. You're sending archaeologists and explorers onto the board. So the board is made up of a bunch of worker placement spaces,
Okay.
and each space needs a certain thing. So this space might need an explorer, and this one needs an architect, right?
Got it.
So not an architect, a
Pretzel.
no, a archaeologist,
Sure.
or explorer or whatever I call them. So they need certain spaces. But instead of just having those workers, like, oh, I have 3 of these and 3 of those, what you do is you start with 7 workers. So it was just 2 players. So Devin and I started with 7. If we play with more, they go down. And you shake your meeples up in your hand. So you have meeples. You shake them up and you roll them like dice.
Okay.
So you roll them. Okay.
Do they roll?
Yeah, they roll, or you can like drop them, or you
Well,
can
you roll
whatever.
them like you roll them to see who goes first.
You just chuck 'em.
Yeah, right.
Whoever's farthest goes first.
So when you roll them, they can land on either side, right? So flat on either side will tell you if it's a archaeologist or an explorer that round.
Okay.
So one is outlined in white, one's outlined in black, and so that's what it is that round. If they stand up on their side, so if they're like leaning on their head, standing up
Yep.
on their
Yeah,
side,
Yep.
then it's a wild.
Cool.
Okay? If they're standing up on their feet, it's a wild, and you get an extra $1.
See, I like that because that's more rare that will happen. So it's
Yes.
a better. It's a
so
better.
you get like a
thing.
little bonus.
Cool.
So then you kind of organize your workers that round, right? So you can make whatever you want. You can do it in the moment. So the wilds, you can make explorers in the moment, or you can make archaeologists. And then you take turns going back and forth, placing workers on the different spots. So I would place 1, or there's a couple different auction spots, so I might place 3 at a time. And you just go back and forth and you place them. And then the board runs 1 through 8 of the action spaces. So the first one will trigger, and then it goes all the way down. So you finish placing the workers, and then the board kind of activates. And it really is collecting these cards. So the beginning spaces are collecting cards in different ways, whether it's through an auction or turn order, sort of. So I put my meeple first, I paid more money, and now I get to pick the first card. Or the ones later that are, I outbid you, so I get all of those cards. And then the last few are selling those cards. So you either can sell them for just straight money, so you can place workers later, or you sell them for points at like the docks. So but the theme is you're finding these artifacts in the forest, and you are shipping them back to your homeland. I don't know.
Gotcha.
You're shipping them back to the motherland.
The motherland.
And you get points for just set collecting and shipping them off. That's the game. So
Okay.
it's pretty simple on the, like, I need these ones. I'm gonna pick these up and I'm gonna sell them when I get over there. But I like the rolling the meeples was fun.
Did you
was
find that
kinda
it
cool.
happened enough where they landed on their heads?
Yeah, I
on
would
standing
say
up?
so. You play 5 rounds. So that means that between Devin and I, we rolled 10 times, right?
And how many meeples are you rolling at once?
6.
Okay.
Or depending on the player, it goes down 6,
Yeah.
5, 4, and then I would say we probably had it maybe 5 times that it stood up.
Okay.
Like on the top, but we had it the side a lot.
Yeah,
Like the
right.
wild side a lot, but
Oh,
not
okay.
like on the feet. We probably had 5 or 6 times. Which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Like it
that
was
is
cool
cool.
to
You
be like,
want it to
yes, I
be
got
rare.
it. Yeah, like you did it, and you're like, oh, cool.
But it's not like all the time.
Right. But most of the time they're landing on a side, just front or back. And that was cool. There was nothing new with like set collecting. The auction was kind of cool. I liked taking the meeples and then bidding on the certain spots. Like, oh, I really want, like, there's already a pair right there.
Yeah.
I want to bid on that spot. So that had a little bit of conflict. We had to play with a dummy player because it was 2.
Okay.
So what happens? You just flip a card over and it just tells you where to put these other meeples, and it just kind of blocks some spots. It wasn't a big deal. It didn't like add time, or I didn't have to like. It wasn't like I was screwing Devin over. It just like told us what to do. So I would say it's not something that's going to give you a ton of decisions and a ton of space to go like, I need to think or make that tricky move or do something that is unexpected to win. It's not going to give you that, but it's fun to roll the meeples and like root for something.
Yeah.
And it's also cool that, what was I going to say? Like you said earlier, the standing up ones that I'm rooting for standing up. Like I want them to stand up. Right. So it was okay. It was good. It falls probably in that good, not great category for me. But if you have people who don't play games a lot or are just getting into the hobby, this would be something that they've never seen before.
Right. Kind of rhymes with pretzel.
Kind of rhymes with pretzel.
Yeah.
The
I can see like the
nothing to do with
throwing the
Mexico.
meeples.
Yeah.
To get someone who's, they're like, somebody who's going to be like judgy about it. Like, oh, that looks boring. Or,
Right.
that kind of like gets them into it. Like, oh, that looks fun. Like,
Yeah,
let's
and it
check this
would
out.
be if it was just here are your 3 archaeologists, here are your 3 explorers, now place them.
Right.
That would not be
Boring.
fun. That would not be fun.
Yeah.
But rolling them, now you have limited choices, right? So now your decisions are a little harder because I can't get
I can't do
this
everything I
card
wanna
this
do
round because I
didn't roll
don't
that.
have an archaeologist.
Yeah.
There's also some cool little player powers that you can buy. That's one of the spaces. So you buy them and add them to your little thing so you can kind of stack. So overall, it's good. If you're looking to introduce people in the hobby, this could be a different game
Yeah.
and something that's kind of cool. So that's Quetzal.
Nice. I like that.
Quetzal's pretzels.
What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing.
You
I'm
give me this
smiling.
face like, you don't like that. Don't say you like that. I do like it.
I didn't say that.
No, you were saying it with your sexy eyes. So I'd like to take a quick second to talk to you all about the Gateway Board Gaming Network, which you can find at www.thegatewaynetwork.com, and the Gateway Network is also on Instagram. The sole purpose of the network is to help new or up-and-coming content creators grow by shouting each other out. If you go to the Gateway Network website, you will find other amazing content creators who are trying to grow as well. They are all amazing people who produce fantastic content. Today, we're going to specifically highlight our member Superboard Sunday. Superboard Sunday is a media group consisting of 4 good buddies, Brian, Christian, Frankie, and Jim. They have a podcast that has about 40 episodes, which seems to have a release schedule with more code in it than something out of a Dan Brown novel. I seriously have no idea what the schedule is. Sometimes it's a week. Other times it's 2 days. Other times it's 2 weeks. Who knows what's going on over there?
Be on your toes.
But is it fun? Yes. Be on
Just
your toes.
subscribe and then it'll just pop up.
You'll occasionally get a podcast episode. You will have a blast listening to them. They also have a YouTube channel. You can go and subscribe to where they do playthroughs, unboxings, and reviews. They also have an Instagram account where you can find all sorts of content ranging from pictures. That's pretty much all you can do on Instagram.
Not stories.
But it's awesome. There's probably some stories too. Anyway, go and check out the guys from Superboard Sunday on pretty much any medium that you prefer. You won't be disappointed. You can find them and a host of other content over at thegatewaynetwork.com. Whatever kind of content you're looking for, the Gateway will have it. If you're a newer board game content creator and you're looking for a way to grow your content, please consider heading over to thegatewaynetwork.com to learn more. Well, we have once again come to the portion of the show where Jeff gets to make up phony Instagram account names and pass it off like people actually respond to us. Jeff has an enormous bulge, 57 says,
Wow.
I love Jeff.
Yeah, weird.
Whoa.
Join us all
Who'd guess?
this time for that and more on today's Instagram Inbox.
And now it's time for the Instagram inbox with the Mad Board Gamer.
Well. It's the inbox time.
Well.
It's well, gamers. Welcome to the Instagram inbox. I am the Mad Board Gamer, and I
like how when he
redid
does
an
the
idea.
inbox, he like explains games and he's like blah 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 blah, blah. And then he's like hello.
It's because the music
Welcome to
I
Pillow
know.
Talk.
puts me in the mood.
It is a nice, moody music.
And I just am reusing ideas from the past at Dan's request.
Nice.
A fat
You
guy
know what
eating
it's-
burrito
you know
has
what it
said,
sounds like, actually?
what?
It's like the late night, like middle of the night
Pillow
DJ on the radio.
Yeah, but see, I love that because it's a totally different segment. So he's got
very different.
his Gamecasters game voice, and now we're going over the inbox here, and he's got his radio.
Let's everybody
Pillow
relax
Talk.
a little
Yeah,
So
slow it down.
I got a request from a fat guy eating burritos, Dan.
And we listen to those requests because
Ooh.
our one benefactor.
Yeah, are we gonna mention this thing later? The giveaway stuff? Is that later? He was amazing and did a giveaway last
Oh yeah,
episode.
remember
Well,
last?
I was gonna
Later,
do that.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
Yep.
he requested. He was listening back to an old episode and was like, "Hey, will you do the game that you play with Ryan and Natalie, where someone poorly describes a board game?" So I was like, "Yes, of course I'll do that. That's
We'll
a
do
great
anything
idea.
you want.
We'll do anything. What else do you want? Yeah." If he's sending me like, "Hey, could you guys only talk for half an hour?" I'd be like, "Yeah, okay,
Sure, we'll give it
Why
a
not?
try.
Who cares?
Yeah,
whatever
whatever.
for you, Dan." So I went on Instagram and I asked people to poorly describe a board game and see if you guys could guess
Okay.
the board game. Are you?
Oh, Shiza. Let's
You
do
have
it.
ready.
to play a game.
Let's do it. Okay,
Get
here we go.
on
Yes, here we go.
your game.
We're
This
doing this
game.
together.
So I want you to again imagine that someone has bought this game, they're excited to play it, and they're just explaining it very poorly, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
And this comes from like real life, where you talk to someone about games, or they say
Or
things, and
Natalie
they're like,
explains
"Oh yeah, and there's this thing. Oh, but then on this side, there's this other thing." You know,
There's
they
this
get-
game.
So,
It's 2 players, and there's cards.
So first you do that. Yeah. First you
so
take
here
the
we go.
card.
Here's the
card.
first one. This is from Sam Michaela.
Okay.
The McMeeples.
Yep, I know them.
Me too.
This
Don't
game
like them, but I know 'em.
is about erecting statues, boats with a white thing streaking across them, worker on worker placement named after a bitch.
A bit.
What do you think about that?
Erecting statues.
Erecting statues.
Boat.
Boats with a white thing streaking across them. Worker on worker placement named after a bitch.
Named
bitch.
after
Think of a different word for bitch or a different
A dog.
meaning.
female dog.
Yep.
Is there like
Erecting
what, is Lassie a female?
Oh, the
Is it
game?
Lassie?
It's Lassie. It's not
Jeff, is it
Lassie. Sorry, it's not Lassie.
Female dog. Okay, hold on. Let's start over. Erecting statues.
Okay.
Erecting statues. You have not played this game.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
This
so
makes
don't-
more
don't think of it
sense.
like that.
Okay, I'm like, how do I not know this?
But you know the game.
Yeah, I
for
know
sure.
of it. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Erecting statues, boats with white things streaking across them, worker on worker placement named after a bitch.
Worker on worker placement. So you're placing workers where somebody else has already placed
Yeah, I
their
guess.
workers?
I've also
I'm
not
trying
played
to
this
think
game.
of like a female dog.
It was a game that I really want. It's on like my list that for some reason I just never get it.
Is this like an older game?
Nope. It's pretty new.
Got it, Gloomhaven.
Nope.
Next.
Ready? You wanna
Yeah,
know?
what is it? I have no idea.
Cooper Island.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh.
See, okay. I know how heavy it is. I don't know anything else about it.
Okay, I know that Cooper is the dog in the game.
Oh.
So that's
did
why
not know.
that was the one. That was
But I
the
had a
guess
friend
I
with
had.
a dog named Cooper, so I get it.
Awesome. My feelings on Sam and Michaela have been reinforced.
Yeah. So
Just kidding.
Way to
Um,
make us look dumb, Sam and Michaela.
yeah, thanks.
from our buddy Nestor. Okay, you can
Love
probably
Nestor.
put these into different things. So he has. So he's
love
he
Nestor's
sent me this
memes.
message like he was
Yeah,
talking
Nestor's
about it,
memes
right?
are
So
great.
it starts with, so bruh, check this out. There's this game, right, where I'm bullshitting you, and you might be bullshitting me. You get this so far?
Okay.
Well, and others are totally bullshitting each other, stealing and killing and calling each other out. All I need is 7 and you to be dead. But
Werewolf?
I got your back if someone else tries anything.
Is it werewolf? All you
It's
need is
in that
7.
it's in that group.
All you need is 7. Secret
just
Hitler? I haven't
one?
played Secret Hitler.
No. That's
All you need
But
is
you're in
7.
that zone.
bullshit.
It's a social
That's what I said,
deduction game.
all I need is 7, yeah.
That's tripped me up. All I need is 7. I've played this.
We'll go to the other ones. I have played it a couple times. It's not in our normal social deduction.
2 rooms and a boom.
No.
Was it one of the one night ultimates?
No. But we're in the zone.
Oh my gosh! Another one I haven't played. It's trickier.
This is, you want to know?
Definitely a social deduction.
This is Coup.
Oh, I've
Oh.
played Coup.
Coup.
Wait, all I need is 7.
I'm not sure the 7 part. That's what he said.
Okay.
Maybe that's
It was
what
a
you need, like,
so I
votes? Maybe
kickstarted
that's a
that
vote thing?
long ago.
Yeah.
Yep. Darn. Okay.
Okay,
Doing
this is
terribly
more-
so far.
I know.
This is more of a Swoozle sent us a couple like almost
Hopefully you at home are doing
association
better than us.
stations
Oh,
kind
okay.
of
Oh,
thing.
really?
Okay.
So he said
That's cool.
subaquatic municipalities.
Underwater cities.
Underwater City.
Got it
Ooh,
first.
underwater cities. Boom. Okay.
Thought about it first.
I said
He called this
bought it for
game
you.
Conquistador 2: The Age of Payback.
Conquistador 2, The Age of Payback. Oh, is it do I own it? I think I know. Is it? No. I was saying
You don't own, you've owned it. We
Marco
talked about it
Polo?
recently and you kind of been like, "Oh, maybe I want to try this again."
Yeah, is it Marco Polo 2?
No, it's Spirit Island because they're fighting back against the conquistadors.
Gotcha. Are they conquisted? Yeah, okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
they were
yeah. Well,
conquistadors.
it depends because they could be if you in some of the game you can make
You
the
can make them a
explorers
nation?
whatever. Yeah, nation.
Ah,
you want them to be.
okay. I guess in that game I always assumed it was just like generic humans attacking generic island.
It usually
Or
is,
building
but
a
when you add, you can then add the
I
next
see,
step
I see.
into it, so
You
it
can
makes
make
it a
them
little harder.
Spanish conquistadors.
Yep.
Okay, we're doing so bad.
Sheer boredom
Okay.
says, make an obnoxious noise and get pissed. You can't leave home. This is an old game. Someone actually mentioned this earlier in this episode.
Oh, Trouble.
Trouble. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
trouble. Pop-O-Matic trouble. Come on.
Yep.
It's fun getting into trouble.
Midwestern Meeple. This could be a lot of games. Roll dice, collect resources, hate your friends.
Hate your friend.
Could be a
Roll
lot.
dice, collect resources.
Who did this one?
Midwestern,
Midwestern
Meeple.
Roll dice. Take
Proud
your-
member of the
Hate
Gateway
your
Network.
friend.
Yeah.
Is it Munchkin or Catan
No,
or one
yeah,
of those?
it's
It's Catan.
Catan. Yeah, Catan.
You got one. Oh, good. We got two
one,
so
got
far.
one.
yeah, they're rolling
Okay.
me, FYI.
No, I got Underwater Cities, you
got
jerk.
me then, because I got Trouble too.
All right, Amera Trash Talk, or Amera Trash Talk, the game with the different factions, and you move those purple pips around. It's probably not pips isn't the right word. Those purple pieces around. What game has that?
People
It's
Eater.
one of your
Pixel Eater?
favorite games.
Cosmic Encounter, for sure.
No.
I don't
Oh, I thought it was kind of.
You move those
Trash.
purple little tiles.
Oh,
purple
Terra
little
Mystica.
Terra Mystica. Remember you
That's
move
not
those
a
little
mirror
purple-
trash.
No, it's a mirror trash talk was the person that said it.
Oh, I thought that was part of the clue.
No.
So I'm like only thinking
No.
like I'm like what? That's a Euro game. All right, sorry, guys.
All right. Let me.
Dang it, that threw me off.
All right. This says, hey man, sometimes if you want to save the future, you have to throw some water in someone's face.
If you want to save the future, you got to throw water
Save
in
the
someone's face.
future.
I am so stupid.
You've played this one.
CO2.
You own this one.
Oh, I know.
Think about time travel.
Oh,
What games do we have about time travel?
there's a game I'm thinking of that I can't think of the name.
It's had sweet little suits to go along with this game.
Suits.
Yeah.
Like Time Chase.
No, but there's like little suits you put on these things.
Oh, Anachrony. Got it.
Yeah, yeah,
Got it
that's
first.
the one I
Got
was
it before
thinking
you
of.
did.
I just couldn't.
I only
think
needed
of
3
the name.
clues.
I was like, I could picture like the board and stuff, but I don't know.
All right, you get this one. Save your squishy berries in case that mouse queen
Everdell.
comes out.
Got it first.
Everdell. Oh my god. You know what? He does that so much that like his kids now do it.
They do.
They'll be like, I said it first, and I'm like,
You're like, oh great.
yeah.
Here, this is another one for Spirit Island that I liked. Said,
Okay.
So basically, we have to kill all these white guys before they build another mall. Those two, so those, the Anachrony one, Everdell, those are all from Dan, who
Awesome.
suggested the game. So you better,
Yeah.
Yeah, you better participate.
because-
yeah, you
Yes.
better participate. So Janelle, Emotional Cyborg, sent me $1 million.
50 of them, of course.
Yep.
Thank you, Janelle. We love you.
Yeah.
She did it between midnight and 5 a.m.
I like because
Probably.
she's like, in case no one else participates, I will run the segment myself.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Very
Thanks,
good.
Janelle.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for the
Janelle.
support.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get back to Janelle's because
Okay.
I'm scrolling through and there's just $1 million. So let me get
1,000
back to
of
it.
them?
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine.
All right. So this one, you pick tiles and you put Smarties on them. You've played it.
Sure.
Smarties could be like any little.
Yep.
simple
Think of
thing.
those
Yeah.
little discs and you put those on tiles.
Oh, Nova Luna.
Nova Luna.
Yeah, I got it
Oh,
first.
yep, those do look like Smarties.
Make a blanket
Shut
to welcome strays.
Calico. No.
Calico.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got it.
Okay,
He
sorry,
didn't
I
say
gotta
yes.
go
I'm like,
back.
is that
Nova
it?
Luna,
That's
Frankie.
got to be it. All right. Yep.
And then that was better
From our
half.
Superboard Sunday shutout.
Yeah. Better half
Rex
reviews was the Calico.
Nice.
Kurt the Viking.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Kurt the
Alright.
Viking.
You ready for this one?
Yeah.
First, you fish. Then, you fish. And eventually, you stop fishing.
Hey, that's my fish.
No.
If fishes were wishes.
No,
If
but that's
wishes
not
were
it.
fishes.
Damn it.
It's if
Trying to
wishes
think
were
of a
fishes.
fish game.
All right, first you fish, then you fish, then eventually you stop
Then eventually, you
fishing.
just stop fishing.
Is it like that
This
game?
is by your boy.
Oh.
Hit it?
Wait, which
Oh,
whose boy?
Newsfjord.
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 Oh, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Thank you for that clue. Got it for you.
By your
Forgot
boy.
about that game.
Forgot about that game. Who cares?
know,
so
I
let's
love
get
that game.
to
It's a good game.
let's get
We
to
got
a
rid
couple
of
of
that
Janelle. Oh, no.
Janels.
Oh, here
Wait,
we go.
we're not going to color that.
This is one I think.
Yeah, I told you can't call her.
I think you've just recently gotten rid of this game. This
Okay.
says if you die in the dream, you wake up in another dream. Brand
If-
new game.
If you die in the dream, right, you wake up in another dream.
Yeah.
Is it like Celestia? Does that even make sense?
We got rid of that a while ago.
Oh.
If you die in the dream, what's a game about dreams?
I don't think you've played it, but you got rid of it.
Okay.
Like, just
That's-
recently, like, it's
that
in the box
happened.
sitting
Oh, it's in
over
one of
there.
those
Yeah.
boxes? What game did we not play?
What game did you not play about
That
dreams?
we got rid of. Oh, Stuff Fables?
Nope.
No, we played Stuff
That's-
Fables.
Oh, that's true.
It's you want to know?
Is it Gloomhaven?
No. Etherfields.
Oh, I haven't got. It's not in the box.
Oh,
we,
it's not in the box
we did
yet.
not get rid
Okay.
of it. Yeah, we did
Alright,
not get rid
alright,
of it. Good call though. That is about dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna. I decided I'm gonna play it.
Okay. So let me get to Janelle's long list here. Here we go. All right. I want this one. Yeah, I don't want to read this first word. I think it'll give it away. So I'm gonna. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Don't worry. It's like Sushi Go. The die determines placement, and then you score based on groups. But keep stuff secret and remember what you know will be obvious. Just play and you'll see. So it's like Sushi Go. The die determines it.
Sushi.
And she likes the meeples. The first thing says something meeples. I don't want to say the word because it might give it away. Or should I just say it? Don't worry, it's like Sushi Go. The die determines placement, and then you score based on groups.
The Sushi Go.
Does
But keep
Sushi
stuff
have a
secret and
die?
remember what you know.
Sushi Go is a card draft.
Yeah. This is a drafting game.
Okay.
And it comes with little meeples in the shape of something.
Little something shaped meeples?
Little something shaped meeples.
I'm lost.
I don't know. What is it?
Does dino meeples help you?
Nope. Oh, Draftosaurus.
Draftosaurus.
Oh, okay. Yes.
It's like
yeah.
all these games. I'm like, I forgot those are games.
I know.
Yeah.
God.
Well, when you don't
I can only remember like what's on the shelf right now.
Yeah, right. I can't even remember that. That's why I do the games. I don't participate in them.
Yeah. Janelle sent me a whole bunch, and then I asked for the ansers, and then she sent it in like 2 different things.
Oh, so you don't know?
Well, I didn't know them all.
Yeah.
Here, let's see if we can get this one. So it says, there's this robber escaping, and you have to he has a flashlight with him in all possible ways by playing your cards, and you can't really talk.
What's it called? Magic Maze?
No,
It's the flashlight.
flashlight.
I don't know.
Fleshlight.
I don't know if I've played this one. Oh, that's what
Yeah.
it is, of course.
No.
Oh.
That's an adult game.
You have to
robber
flashlight
escaping.
him in all possible ways
Oh,
by playing your cards.
Oh, wait.
Is it Burgle Brothers?
Is it like
never
Letters
played
from
that.
Whitechapel or something?
no, but that's a
No.
good
Game
guess.
Like that.
Oh, is it Scotland Yard?
No, I
think
should go
it's the same.
Bandito. Is Bandito it?
Never heard of it.
Never played
Never heard
Bandito
of that
either.
Nope.
But it looks kind of cool.
Okay.
To
that
just
does
like have
sound
to
fun.
flashlight people.
Yeah.
You can fleshlight them
I want to
instead.
flashlight them. Yeah. Ha!
So that was that. That was the. That
Oh my
was
God,
the.
that was a horrible noise.
sucked.
Yeah.
At that.
That was the
Oh
inbox.
my
Sorry
gosh,
for
did
the
we
dud. We need to.
No, that wasn't a dud. We were just
better.
stupid.
We're just not good at
We were
it.
just not good. Yeah, that we were. That was rough for us being
Hey,
good.
we
So
got, like, maybe
last
half.
episode was it? It had to have been last episode. Our good benefactor Dan, a fat guy eating burritos,
Dan the
so
man.
generously offered to gift someone a game from their BGG
Why are you saying
Wish
this so
list.
slow?
wish list. I'm trying to put my words together. And so we did a contest. We had you guys, if you listened to the show, we had you submit or post a story.
yeah.
And it basically had to say, I want a game from a fat guy eating burritos. You had to tag a fat guy eating burritos. You had to tag Gamecasters, and you had to tag
Gateway Network.
the Gateway Network. Okay, so a bunch of you guys did this. We put all your names into the wheel of names, and we had about 17, I think, or 18 people participate, which is pretty cool.
Good amount.
And we did it like a week ago. Okay, because we wanted this person to get their game before Christmas. So if we revealed it now, you know, the chances of them getting... Dan's whole thing was he wants to make someone's holiday brighter.
Yes.
So what an awesome guy this guy
Very
is,
cool.
first of all.
If you haven't
We-
noticed how awesome he is.
We have not said enough
What
good
does
things
this
about
say?
him yet. And so we will continue to do that. So the winner of the contest was C.P. Wilson.
Yeah,
Chris, our good buddy Chris. Wilson's not his last name. It's
Preston.
Chris Preston.
Yep.
Congratulations, Chris Preston. You have won that contest, and you may have your game. I don't know. So another thing Dan did, he went one step further than that. He said, you know what, Ryan? I don't just want to give a game to one guy. That was awesome. I want you, and again, we do whatever Dan tells us. Yep. I want you to make a post on Instagram and basically come up with some way that I can give more. I have a bunch of games in my collection that I want to get out the door. It would be so cool if there's other people that respond to this post that have games on their BGG wish list that I have in my collection. I'm going to send that to them. And maybe even if I don't have those games, I'll send them to him anyway. You know why? Because I'm the greatest person since Jesus.
Boom.
And so I made a post.
So nice.
And I basically said, I want you have to follow us, you have to follow him, and you also have to say something nice about Dan, but it should be fake.
Yeah.
Like some random thing, right? So a bunch of people responded.
There were some funny ones.
And there were some really, really funny responses. And Dan has sent a bunch of games to a bunch of these people.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
so
Mr. Measles was
freaking nice.
not
How nice.
allowed.
Yep, of course.
And then
Did you see that? He's like, "Am I allowed to participate?"
Oh, no,
yeah,
I didn't
and I
read
was
that.
like,
That's
I'll
funny.
tell you when you're eligible.
Remember, you were like, "You're not allowed."
Yeah.
But then, no, he then became eligible after a certain time had passed, and I believe he is one of the benefactors
Wow.
His
of
was
the
really
game.
funny.
He
Oh,
had
awesome.
some really funny stuff. Very awesome stuff. So you never know when a game might be coming your way from our Gamecasters benefactor.
Yeah.
A fat guy eating
Not from
burritos.
us.
We're not giving you crap. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. We did do
He actually
a big
inspired us
giveaway.
to also give away some of our games.
He is
Yeah,
an inspiration to all of
He
us.
is.
We love Dan, and he's doing more behind the scenes for the show than you guys even know. I'm not going to say anything yet. He's just doing some really kind stuff because he's a big fan, and he's awesome. We love him. We love you, Dan, and we're going to keep saying that the more good stuff you do. So
Dan to
get
man.
ready.
Yeah.
All right. So we are not doing a beatdown this episode. Natalie is cooking something up for a future segment. Okay. So we've done the beatdown a lot. We've kind of
Stirring.
beaten the dead horse or the beatdown at this point.
beating the beatdown.
It's, we've done a lot of the big games, and some of the comments we have found are kind of repetitive.
Yes.
Right, so we're not going to completely abandon the beatdown. That will still be
Pop up
featured.
here and there.
It's going to pop up here and there, but Natalie is going to come up with maybe some more segments related personally to her that will spark some dialogue between the three of us.
Yes.
And you are going to see stuff like that coming probably as early as next episode.
Wow. Maybe after the dud of the inbox, I'm going to have to start.
No,
thinking of some new ones.
that wasn't a dud. It was our.
Man.
If it was a dud,
No,
it was because
those were-
we
yeah.
didn't.
Just
do
because we
that.
didn't get it
Okay,
doesn't mean the
We just
explanations
suck.
were.
We
I
love
know
you.
exactly how you feel though. Whenever I make a game, I'm always like,
Yeah,
if they don't get
like,
any of
"Ugh,"
these,
I know.
that sucks.
Then I
right?
failed. Yeah.
On to the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't a dud. It was the people who.
It was your
Submitted
guessers.
it.
Oh, the guessers.
Believe
It
me.
was you guys. Okay.
Yeah, it was the people who submitted them to you. It wasn't your fault, Jeff.
Let's call them all
It was
out
those
again.
fake. Yeah, it was those fake.
Yeah.
Blame it
ones,
on Santa.
Ho ho ho.
Yeah.
En français. Ho ho ho. Oh my gosh. Okay. On today's game of the episode, I thought about doing more trivia and riddles, as those were really, really fun, but thought we should probably get back to board games.
Ooh.
So I decided it was time for a new game that we've never played before, and I'm calling this one.
Does that count for me?
I'm calling this Initial This.
Initial this.
Initial This.
Okay.
In Initial This, I'm going to give you nothing but the initials
Okay.
of board games. Using only those initials, you have to figure out what the game is. For instance, if I said GOTTBG, you might know that as
Game of Thrones,
Game
the
of
board
Thrones, the board game.
What if
Oh,
he's
I
like
wouldn't have
C?
known that.
What if he's like C?
Yeah. See.
There's like 100
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
that
Damn
starts with
it!
C.
Damn it! Number one is just C.
Oh.
I'm just
it's
kidding.
not.
No.
Okay.
You would hopefully know what I'm talking about. Game of Thrones, the board game, where you might figure it out in
Oh.
time. So that's the idea. Are you guys ready?
God.
Natalie seems ready. Jeff seems
I'm
terrified.
I can't.
I'm
Jeff seems
really
terrified.
excited.
Natalie seems ready. These are pretty
Pete.
simple. I think. I have 10 games on the docket. Get your ringy fingy ready to
I think
dingy.
my-
Hold on. Yeah, you should take your ring off. The thing hurts.
For Jeff.
Natalie and
Natalie
Jeff.
is,
Let me get the
is
score going.
habitually very aggressive at
right.
the bell.
I
Let me
also
get the
just
score
drank
going.
some Kickstarter.
One day we should maybe we should get 2 bells.
Ooh.
So then they don't have to
then-
fight over. No,
That's
it's funner.
actually a
It's
good
more
idea.
fun when
Yeah.
you fight over.
Funner.
Or you need to
So
have
I
it
said more fun
sound
immediately. I said
differently.
first.
You might need them to sound differently. What if we hit them?
What if one says dong? Ding dong.
Okay. One says ding,
What
one
if it was
says
like a
dong.
buzzer, like like some tape?
Dong.
Dong.
It'd be funny
It's
if
like
it
in a
was just
human voice.
If it was
Dong.
like me,
You're
ring,
I'm dong.
ding.
Okay, I'm dong.
She
Thanks.
pointed at him.
Yeah.
She actually like
You are dong.
You're dong. What my dong? What?
Oh man.
Here we go.
All right.
Are you guys ready to play Initial This?
Okay.
Yes.
Do
Num-
these? Never mind.
No, go ahead. Ask. Go
Do
ahead,
these
ask away.
have like?
More than
Are there going to be
one.
more than one answer, or you think that this is it?
One of them will could have
Okay.
more than one
All right.
answer.
And
It-
are we going with what you have?
I'll make that determinant.
Okay,
Like
all right,
if you say
Yeah.
something, I'm like, oh yeah, it's definitely this too.
Okay.
I'll give it to you.
All right,
okay,
sounds good.
I just basically went through a bunch of games and just wrote down what I think. A lot of these I think are the actual thing.
Okay.
but not necessarily known by the initials. Like some games are known by the initials. These might not necessarily be known by. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Number 1, GWT.
Oh,
Who was that?
Is Natalie?
Natalie?
Yeah.
Great Western Trail.
Great
Yeah,
Western
all right.
Trail. Jeff knew it too. He was right there.
I knew it. I knew
he
it.
Might have,
I knew it. I knew that one. I knew that one.
He touched my hand.
I touched her hand.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah.
All right, so Natalie won. Jeff, could you take score, please?
Got it.
Oh my gosh. Is the bell closer to Natalie?
I don't know. We'll,
Okay.
we'll
My
measure.
left hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's.
She's using her left hand. Yeah, well, Jeff's
Oh.
left-handed, though.
Is he?
In some
No.
things.
Oh.
Aren't you in some things left-handed?
I golf and I play
golf
hockey
left-handed?
left-handed and
And you
something
J-O. Okay, number 2, J-O.
yeah.
Jerk off.
Is jail over bees?
Kill every bees. All right, number 2, C-O-B.
Natalie.
Natalie.
I know.
Full of emergency.
Jeff can do nothing right in Natalie's eyes. Natalie's
Natalie's
dinged the
winning,
bell
and then I get
first.
yelled at for
and
not
she's like,
ringing
you
it."
didn't even try.
I get yelled at if it's too stupid and I answer it. I get yelled at if I don't try. What's the point?
Usually my competitive side comes out with these games.
Last episode, Jeff gets the riddle right. Now he's like, "That's the dumbest question." And Jeff just brings it immediately. He's like, "You got one. How many Baba Black Sheep? How many
Black
bags
Sheep?
of wool?"
An itsy bitsy spider. After getting itsy
And he
bitsy spider
says
trivia
nothing.
question. Oh my!
He's so kind to you, and you just shit all over him. You didn't even try. If I'm gonna win, I better feel like I'm not stomping on your face. All right, number 3. PLS1.
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 The initials are 1.
PLS1.
What has a 1 at the end?
P.
I guess I could have said PLSO,
Oh, because it would be
but you get it.
yeah.
Because O's the first letter.
Oh, I see.
Natalie didn't know.
I didn't know.
Probably somehow still your fault, Jeff.
Yeah. Damn it, Jeff. God.
Like if you just get it right now, she'd be like, "Well,
Yeah, well,
only because you said the O, and I didn't know what that was."
PLS.
Okay, let's come back to that. Let's come back to that.
Ooh, I gotta write down.
Number. Okay, so yeah, it's PLS1. Number 4. Ready?
Natalie, you want me to wait until you're okay?
You know, you
You're
catch some
armed
shit.
and loaded.
Well, I was still writing. Number 4. TMB. Natalie.
Too many bones.
Too many bones.
Oh, man.
Correct.
Not good this game.
You'll come back, baby. You'll come back.
Is there a
He
riddle?
will. He always does.
There are riddles.
He sleeps at night.
Oh my god.
So
Oh,
stupid.
man.
How stupid. 'Cause I didn't know it. It's stupid. Number 5. RFTG. Natalie.
Race for the Galaxy.
Race for the Galaxy.
Ooh.
I would have also accepted
Roll for the Galaxy.
Oh. Is that a real game? The race one?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Ra-
okay.
That was
That's
the first
one I
one.
was thinking of.
Oh,
Was
okay.
but I would have also accepted Roll for the Galaxy.
Roll and race.
All right, number 6. FOA.
It's not FAO Schwartz.
FOA.
Yes, FOA. You also have PLS1.
We got the PLS1 or
PLSO.
And we got
And then
FOA.
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 Yep, we can move on.
FOA.
FOA.
Number 7. GAH. Jeff.
I got one. Grand Austria Hotel.
Grand Austria Hotel, correct.
Hey,
Yes, he's on the board.
4-1.
And
Watch
you
out.
you could make a comeback here.
Ooh, making a
so
comeback
Jeff
here.
has this
Listen here,
thing
FOA.
he does that he's always done his whole life. He makes a charge.
Yep, making a charge.
Never count Jeff out. While Ryan schemes, apparently.
Scheming, yeah.
Jeff has the, like, I'm down, but don't count me out. I'm
Yep.
coming back. Making a charge. All right, number 8. LIM.
LIM.
Lim. The game Lim.
Lim.
I know one of the other ones.
What do you mean you know one of the other
I figured
ones?
it out.
Oh, I'm like, the last ones you just looked at his computer? That's why you got all those ones
No,
right.
I just figured it out right before you said that. LIM.
Well, ring in for the other one.
Yeah, go ahead, ring in for one.
Okay.
Which one do you think you know?
PLS one.
Okay.
Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
Correct.
Wow.
Pandemic Legacy Season 1. Okay, Jeff, you can still get the rest and tie.
LIM.
I don't want to.
LIM. Okay, we can go to the next one. Number
All right.
9.
Oh,
So you have FOA and LIM out there still.
I have FOA written like 5 times on paper. All right.
Okay, number 9. ROTG.
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 Oh, God. Why did I ring that?
oh, he knows.
I need an answer, sir.
I don't know. This,
ROTG.
sorry,
You don't have-
that was an accident. I just finally saw an opportunity to ring the bell.
What did you say?
ROTG.
He was like going so
Oh, I
slow.
thought he said he's usually so slow.
No, he was
Yeah,
like
he's
this,
usually so
and then he's
slow,
like,
idiot.
So he was
Trying
like,
to look at the
oops.
wall now. I got to figure out a game.
ROTG.
Oh, I feel like I should know that. Rodents of unusual. No.
ROUSs? I don't think those exist. All right, number 10, the last one.
God.
G. JOTL.
What? GJ's?
GJ's Diner.
GJ's Diner.
GJ's rolls right
What
off.
is it?
G.
G. JOTL.
Oh.
Natalie.
Yeah.
Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion.
Correct.
Yeah. I did know that
Correct.
one.
All right, so you still have ROTG, LIM, and FOA. Jeff, ding in and get all 4 of them in a row, and you can at least make it a decent showing here.
Well, you got to
I
get
feel
3.
like
There's only 3 of them.
ROTG, does the
Isn't there
TG stand for like the game?
LIM, FOA, and ROTG.
Right, you're right. FOA, LIM,
Huh?
ROTG.
I'm not helping you. Oh, she's helping me. All right, well.
I'm trying to share my
All right, what is it then?
I don't know, but I thought maybe TG stood for the game.
The game. Maybe it is the game.
Something, the game.
Royal Oak.
I know.
The game. Roll for the galaxy. Roll the galaxy.
Let me see. So let me tell you this. Jeff, you have played 2 of the 3 of these.
Oh, man.
Natalie, I think you have played all 3 of these. But Jeff,
Come
you were
on, Natalie.
that doesn't hurt your chances, Jeff.
Yeah, it's not what's going to make me lose. I've already lost.
What could start with an F?
Lots of games. Founders of Gloomhaven.
Ooh.
Oh,
Fishes were wishes.
yeah.
I don't know.
Only one of these games is in my current collection.
Oh, man. They've
And
Really?
one of these games I've never owned, but Jeff owns.
Jeff
Oh.
owns, huh?
Jeff,
I got Lorenzo Il Magnifico.
correct.
Oh, nice.
Correct.
That's
So you still have FOA and ROTG.
ROTG.
One of these 2 games is only in Jeff's collection.
Ooh, Natalie.
And one of these games
I know my collection.
Jeff has never played.
Yeah, which might be the one
I
in
know
my
my
collection.
I could be wrong.
glad.
You might have played.
I know my collection.
I don't think so. FOA, ROTG. Would you like to move on and
Wait,
then
Lorenzo was the one we have, so the other 2 we don't currently have. Is
Nope.
that what you said?
look at Natalie? Look at the big brain on Natalie.
Oh. Little
You
big
damn
brain on
mouth.
Brad.
But you have played them all. Jeff has played one of them. Jeff owns one of them.
I own one of them.
He owns it. What do you own, Jeff?
I don't know.
He's not helping.
I'm the
You
only
own
like 20
RO
games
the
not
game?
helping you.
Not helping you.
Reverse osmosis, the game.
Reverse osmosis of the game.
That's correct. Okay, so it looks like Natalie is going to win this.
Oh, she already won.
Initial this.
Yeah.
I think if Jeff gets the last 2, he could
Make
come
it.
1 behind.
Nope.
Yeah, you'd only be down by 1, right?
No, I'd be
'Cause
down.
You have,
I
you have 5 then?
Yeah, 1 swing. No,
oh,
I
you would only have
4.
4.
'Cause
Okay.
it's 6 to
okay.
2.
6 to 2. Okay.
Yeah.
He will get the
Why
next
don't you ask
2.
a riddle
I
from the
want
last?
to know what those are.
Well, if you don't get him by the end of the episode, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So as we approach the end of the year of hell, we look back on all the great games that were released.
Yeah.
There are some potential greats we haven't gotten to play yet, but I wanted to do a top 5 games we've played so far in 2020 for the last episode of 2020, because this is going to be our last episode of the year
Well, top 5 games that came out. In
that came out in 2020.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not doing new to me. We could do that sometime in the new year, but I wanted to actually do, because we've all played, especially Jeff, a bunch of 2020 releases. We're probably gonna have some crossover here, and that's totally fine. These are top of the year, right? So let's go Jeff, me, Natalie this time. We'll start with the birthday boy and end with the birthday girl.
Oh.
So Jeff, you want to
Birthday boy.
preamble it up?
Yep.
What you got?
I played some games this year.
Did you?
I've played.
He's played a lot more than us.
Okay, so this was again my initial go through. There's always some like differences of like, you know, it got released in the United States in this year, but back and forth.
Yeah.
So whatever. I kind of went with Board Game Geek minus one of them, but I've played 41 as of now, 41 2020 games.
Nice.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah,
Did you log all your games last year in 2019?
I did. So 2019
I'm curious to see
was
how
my
many
first
more
year.
games you played this year.
I will do
feel
those
like-
stats for our end of year
I know,
stat
but
episode
I feel
next.
like Jeff, because of COVID, his like skyrocketed.
So-
Well, not only that, he's also doing more of a review.
yeah, he's getting
stuff that
I
he did
think
before.
you're gonna see that
But I also think because he's playing with Devin.
We're talking talk for you.
Yeah.
We're
like
talking
instead
talk
of just playing like on his weekly game nights, he's also playing like multiple times a week with Devin. So I bet he's playing like a ton more.
We'll see.
But we'll
We'll
see
see.
what
We're
he
gonna- we're gonna
thinks.
So I do
We're
know
gonna
that
keep
there
talking
is
for
some
now.
downside where we did go a bunch of months without playing on a Monday.
Yeah.
So my normal
yeah,
game group
that's
did not meet
Yep.
and hasn't been meeting. Also, I haven't played with my students at all this
Right.
school year.
So this
that
might
is
even
a
be lower than normal.
Yeah, but I guarantee that I have a lot of new to me games this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Because even these 41 are 41 new games.
Yeah, it's
You're
like
reviewing-
41,
you're
and we
reviewing a
had,
ton of
like,
games.
20.
Yeah.
He had like double how many 2020 releases he played versus.
So you might have been the Polyomino
did you do that?
expert,
But you are the 2020
expert. So I'm waiting on 3. Like Ryan said, there's 3 big games that in my head, I'm hyping up a lot that could just be my top 3, right?
Yeah.
Praga,
Kaput Regni.
and then Bonfire and Merv, the Silk Road.
Nice.
Somewhere or another.
I also
Those
have
3
Castles of Tuscany, Lost
yeah.
Ruins of Arnak.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, aren't yeah. I think there's some really solid games that came out the last month or so that could shift this list around. But as of
Agreed.
now, 41 games. Possibly by the end of the year, might be close to 50 because I have
Plus, a lot of those games that Jeff's talking about just came out or are
Yes.
just coming out.
Right.
So
nobody
most
really
people
has
aren't
them
going to
yet.
really play them until 2021.
Yeah.
So when we
know.
come back and play these games and talk about it in 2021, I'll
We
just
will
update my
amend.
list and be like, this
Yeah.
one's off now.
Yep, we'll amend our list.
Replaced.
I'm going to say my number 5 game is one of the game said one of the coolest art styles of 2020. It's a game called Fort that we played. It's
Yeah.
such a fun, cool theme.
It is a cool theme.
I liked, you play these cards and then there are little surfboards and there's skateboards and you play these things and you're building this fort and it felt really thematic. The pieces were great. The art was incredible. And every time I've played 3 or 4 times. It's just been fun. It's good with
Plus,
2.
I
It's
don't
good
know
with
if
4.
you take this into account at all, but the way that it all kind of so you were kind of starting this review, aspect
Yeah.
to you, and then that was one of like the big games I felt
Yes.
like you got it right at the time where we were having our Gen Con weekend. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And so there was a lot of magic around that game.
Yeah.
I felt like it was like
it was
whoa,
like
we
the
got
hotness.
this really hot game that's not out yet.
Yeah.
And we're all going to play it before it comes out, and it just felt really.
It was cool.
It was a cool feeling. So
Yeah, it's been cool
that's
to
a
get
good
into
choice.
that.
That's
Yeah.
a good choice. My number 5 is a game. I did not kickstart this. It was like a big Kickstarter, and it had apparently these coins that stack on top of each other
Oh,
that I
yeah.
didn't know about. I have the retail version, which is still an incredibly amazing production, and it's a real-time tile-laying game called Sorcerer's City. Natalie and I played that. It kind of blew us away when we first played it. And then we also played this at the Gen Con weekend, and I felt like
Super fun.
everyone had a blast.
Yes.
Because people are having fun when we're all standing up. Do you remember
Yeah.
that? Everyone was like standing up, like, oh, what am I going to do? How's this going to work? And I came in dead last in that play and still had so much fun.
It's great.
And that's what I like. I think we all like, everyone likes and knows that a mark of a good game is if you're losing terribly and you're still having a blast playing it and it doesn't hurt your, want to play it again, then it's a good game. And that's my number 5,
Agreed.
Sorcerer City. Now, what about you?
That was on my list. And
On your
actually,
first-
that play put it on my want list, and it went on like super sale on Amazon. I bought it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Have you haven't played it since?
I haven't played it with Devin, but
Oh,
we'll
cool.
play it.
Does Devin like the time
Nope.
stuff?
Well,
No.
but
But we're gonna try.
The
Your
Monday
game
group
group,
will
though,
play.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I can see all of. Well, I mean, Dave and Joe have already played it.
Yeah,
but I think
yeah.
Bill,
It's a blast.
Bill would like it too.
Good choice.
Cool.
My number 5 is a game that we got from the generous Dan called Twa Dice.
Twice.
Oh, cool.
Twatus.
Twice.
I picked this game because I kind of talked about this
Twa.
last episode, but it was like one of those roll and write type games
Yep.
that actually landed for me, that I actually like want to keep playing. And so that was pretty exciting because of most of them I like want them to be great so bad, and then they usually just aren't.
Yeah, agreed. That's like a heavier one.
Yeah, because
It's got enough to chew on where, you want to come back to it. That and like Fleet the Dice game are kind of like similar weight levels. So that's a great choice.
Thanks.
And thanks, Dan, again, for getting us that awesome game. That has made Natalie's top 5 of the year.
Wow.
Jeff, what is your number 4?
This episode is brought to you by Dan. We're sponsored by Dan.
We're
You know,
sponsored
remember
by
the socks? It's like Dan.
Dan. Socks. There's,
Dan.
you get socks in this.
Everybody knows that Dan is the word.
My number
Yeah.
4 is
4.
another beautiful game called Tang Garden.
When you were talking about number 5, I was going to be
You're
like,
like, oh, it's that one. Yeah.
Yep.
This game is even more beautifuler than Fort. Just the components are, what Ryan said earlier, overproduced, but in a good way, overproduced. Everything could be tokens, but they're not, and they're incredible looking. And the game is fun. It's fun to place those tiles, to place those little, what are they called? Like
the pagodas.
pagodas out there. And
Something
this,
to play with.
it's fun to
Yeah,
play
we gotta
those
play
things.
still.
And it's, there's little player power sort of. It's just, it's a really solid game that is also one that will welcome people to the table and get more gamers into the hobby.
Yeah, you said it's a little lighter.
Yeah, it's not
We
gonna.
got to give that a try.
Yes.
Very cool. Number 4 for me is a game I kind of knew I was going to like this game, but I didn't know it was going to be this big of a hit. And it is the Spiel des Jahres winner this year, and that game is Pictures.
I didn't have that on my list.
So Pictures.
You son of a...
Ooh.
I told you this morning to show me your list.
I don't know how.
And then I
wasn't going to show you my list. I didn't have a list.
The list, the 2020.
I didn't have a 2020 list.
I didn't. Yeah. So this was
Yeah.
because it came out here in the U.S. So BGG has this at 2019, but we couldn't get this as.
When I looked it up, BGG has it as 2020 for me.
Oh,
Well, it's not on my list, but it totally should be because I love that game.
Look, 2020.
Why did I just look it up? It said 2019.
That's weird.
Look at mine.
That's
2019.
weird. WTF, mate?
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's really weird.
So 20. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, it won
it's
the
definitely a
Spiel in
2020 game.
2020.
Yeah, it's definitely
so
2020.
I'm calling it
But
2020.
So now I'm at 42 games.
Oh, ooh, yep.
Damn.
So there's a lot of games that are that ride the line because of what Jeff talked about. They're released in Europe, the previous year or months before, or sometimes Kickstarters will get them in December, but it doesn't, actual retail release until the next year. There's a lot of that
it
stuff.
comes out in December and no one plays them until the next year.
Yeah, so we're not going to be super, judgmental with our strict with our year thing. So number 4 for me, Pictures, a game that Natalie is going to hate if it's not on her list, which it sounds like it might not be because she hates it. And that's
Well, then
the
we get
only
to talk
reason
about
why.
other games now.
No.
It's okay.
Yeah, don't worry
I
about
want
it.
it to be on my list, but it's not.
Sorry, girl.
Because I forgot.
You can
Or I
you
didn't
can
know
trade it
that
out.
was
Jeff does this a lot, where he's just like, "Oh, okay, I'll move this one up here." Okay.
I can really
So
hear
number
about
4
other
is
games.
Pictures. Pictures is a fantastic.
Yeah.
Much the year before, I felt like Just One was like the party game of the year.
Yeah.
Where I feel like Pictures takes that spot this year, even though it only plays up to 5 people. It's still you want to break it out at like
so
that
fun.
kind of a situation where you have like a couple friends over, or even like a game group, and you just want to like. It's one of those games where you want to play it multiple times as well. It doesn't seem. I don't know that we've played it. Maybe the one time that day we played Mariposas might be the only time we played it just once and then stopped because we had other games to play.
Yeah.
But every other time I've played it, like we played it with Ben and Emily, we played it a bunch of times in a row. It's
fun.
You know what I mean? It's a great game.
It's a good
That's
choice.
my number 4. Pictures. Thank you, Natalie. What is your number 4?
My number 4 is Forgotten Waters.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
That game was really cool. That's a game that had the app and it had a lot of dialogue that it read to us, and it was actually entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
We played that game a bunch, I feel like, and then we played it on Zoom with during COVID.
That
with
was fun.
The Madigans.
We didn't finish.
Nope.
No,
We played it for like
so
5
close.
hours, and we were like, oh.
But that was a surprisingly really fun game for 2020, and it kind of worked out with the COVID situation.
You know what's funny about that is I pre-ordered that from Plaid Hat, and then I completely forgot about it. And then it showed up, and I was like, honestly, I looked at the game, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I was like, I forgot.
I remember that.
Because there was nothing else about it. And I was like, what the hell is this again? And I looked at it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's this one. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Good choice
That
for
was
your
a
number
fun
3. Or number 4. Jeff, what is your number 3?
My top 3 are, as Ryan would say, with a bullet. These 3.
Okay.
Nice. Mine.
4
me
and
too.
5 could have been swapped out with probably the other 6 games I'll talk about in
Exactly
honorable mention.
how
But
I
these
feel.
top 3 are great, and I could probably also interchange them. Number 3 is a game called Furnace. Furnace is not out in the U.S. till
Wow, with a
2021.
bullet, Furnace.
But Furnace is a great short engine building thinky auction game that I love the auction mechanic. The engine building is fine. That's where the crunchiness comes in, but the auction is so great. The artwork is awesome. Furnace.
And you're putting
is my
this in your
number
2020 because you actually have the copy.
because I
that
have
you
a physical
played.
copy. It's released in other countries. It just will be here in the United States by Arcane
So this is like
Wonders.
the reverse of what we were talking
Yes.
about. Because again, we're not. You don't have to be super strict. Jeff's
so
got it.
Arcane Wonders is releasing this in 2021 to America.
Very cool. I can't wait to play this one. My number 3 is a game that completely, which is I never thought this would happen. I have a TV in my game room specifically because of Mansions of Madness.
Yep.
That game, I loved it so much, and I played the crap out of it, and have a TV in the game room specifically because of the app and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this game that replaced it just came out, and it's funny. I pre-ordered it a while ago from Plaid Hat, and then when it showed up, I was like, "What the heck is this
Wow.
game?" It's called Forgotten Waters.
Oh, okay.
That's my
I knew it was
number
gonna
3.
be
Just like Jeff, these top 3 are with a bullet. 3, 2, 1. Forgotten Waters replaced Mansions of Madness for me. I think I would rather play Forgotten Waters
Wow.
than Mansions of
That's
Madness.
crazy.
That's
You
It's
love
a
Mansions of
lot
Madness.
more streamlined. Okay, so Mansion of Madness is amazing, but it's got all those miniatures, it's got all those cards, it's got all those tiles you have to figure out. Forgotten Waters is just a book, and then you have a couple standees representing you, and then everything else is done with the app. And it builds upon what Mansions of Madness has done with it, because it's that same kind of app-driven narrative style game, right? And Forgotten Waters has a lot more dialogue. Mansions of Madness only reads you the first and end, the beginning and the end, and then everything else you read as it tells you.
And it's got those funny little characters.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. There was that. What was that? There was this one part, this one scenario. I'm not going to spoil much. It was just this one thing where Joe's character went and literally murdered somebody, and at the end they were like, "Why did you do that?" Like the game was like, "No, why did you do that?"
That was funny.
This was supposed to be a joke, and we were like, "Oh my god, I just killed this guy!" It gives you this experience that's unlike anything I've played, including Mansion of Madness, which they're different themes, right? And so it's not like one will go away, but I don't know. I feel like if you were to like, which one are you going to play? I would want to play Forgotten Waters every time. That's my number 3. Natalie, what is your number 3?
You just reminded me, Joe just said that he hasn't been on Zoom since we played that.
Really
and he went on Zoom for like work, and his name on there was Golden Booty.
Golden Booty, because that was his name in Forgotten Waters the last time he had used Zoom. So all these colleagues see Golden Booty.
Golden Booty. Golden Booty's in the waiting room. Oh, okay. Click.
To me, that's like, who were you?
What were you doing?
Who were you getting it out? That's hilarious.
That's my pirate name. Sorry about that.
Sorry, it's my pirate name. Yeah, because that explains it.
Yeah, sure. Oh, okay, I get it.
Okay, so my number 3 is a game that Jeff owns.
Yay.
So going through this list of the 2020 games, I honestly didn't like a lot of them.
Yeah.
So like my top 5 are like basically like, except for pictures, because I didn't know that was 2020. They're like the only ones I actually really liked. So number 3 for me is Grand Carnival.
Yeah.
Carnival.
Good one.
Carnival.
That's on my honorable mentions that I definitely wanted to talk about, because it's
that was a really fun game, and I want to get it.
I did find myself.
Want to get it? You just want to get it.
I did find myself not having the like more than this chunk that I thought were like amazing yet. We're gonna find games next year and in the future that were great in 2020. We just haven't played them yet.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, my like I said, my top 3 are games that I know I'm going to play over and over and over again that will stay around.
Yep.
The other ones, maybe not. Who knows what'll happen in a year if I want these games.
Same.
So
I agree. All right, Jeff. So number 2, man.
My number 2 is one of the T games, and it's probably not the T game that's on your list, and this is Tawantin Suyu.
You're right about that.
Yep.
Well, for Natalie anyway.
So Tawantin Suyu, I liked better than Tekkenu, which would be the 2 T games that came out this year.
Yep.
One much earlier and one pretty recent. Tawantin Suyu is something that I've been jonesing to play. That and Trismegistus, I'm just waiting to put back on the table.
Was that the prior year?
Yeah, Trismegistus was 2019.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, those 2 I'm really jonesing to play again, because I want that thinky game again on the table.
Yeah,
So.
according to BGG, it's 2019. But,
Okay. Yeah,
but they've been known to be wrong.
But who knows what my phone says? Might be different.
I expected that to be very high on your list.
Yep.
I thought it might have even been one spot higher, if I had to guess.
Number
2 appeared on my honorable mentions, of which I only had 5 or 6 of those. My number 2 is a game that rhymes with number 2, and it's called The Crew. This is our Kennerspiel des Jahres winner.
I'm so mad at you.
Why are you mad at me?
Because-
I told you, just give me your list so I can compare it.
She gets mad at us a lot.
Well, now we're just seeing different
mad at
games.
us.
My list is missing games.
The Crew is number 2 for me. This is a game, again, that won the Kennerspiel des Jahres in 2020 this year. And if you haven't played The Crew, then what?
It says 2019.
My phone says
Okay.
2019. How weird. I know it's a thing, but that's why Natalie didn't see it. Because when Natalie went through, she was just looking for 2020. So that's why. But yes, it's a game
Exactly,
that
so that's why. So don't be mad at me.
Well, why do you have it on your list?
I told you, there's a lot of games that came out in... See, The Crew, right there, it says 2020.
What the
click on the
heck?
page. Does it say... Click on, the page, because this says 2019. Isn't that so weird?
Is there 2 BGGs
It
out
says 2019 there. Yeah,
Weird.
So, again...
Yeah, it doesn't
it's-
matter.
Oh, okay.
No, there's not two BC.
but it won.
It won the Kennerspiel in 2020.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
right? You knew that, didn't you? Okay, this is a 2020 release or 2019, whatever you want to say. The reason I didn't put on Mars on here is because we talked about it in 2019, right? We didn't talk about the crew in 2019 because it's 20. You know, came out in 2020 for most of us.
It's acceptable.
And I don't give a shit about your acceptance. This is happening. You're just mad because you didn't get it on there because you would have.
well, there's more games that I liked that I didn't have on.
Number 2 for me is the crew. If you haven't
game.
played the crew yet, I would wager to guess this is going to make a lot of people's top 5s if they do top 5.
Yeah,
or
it's a great
top of the game of the year for 2020.
This might be my most played game of 2020.
Yes.
It is without a
Same.
doubt my most
Yeah.
played. I've gotten over 50 plays.
Yeah,
of
it's a
it
great
so
game.
far.
Good choice.
It's really
Good
fun.
one. Thank you, Natalie. What is your much weaker number 2?
Well, my much weaker number 2 was on your list already. It's called Sorcerer's City.
Yeah.
Wow, number 2.
Yeah, I loved that game. Even
Very
though I was
good.
so bad at it, it was so much fun.
That's amazing.
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
You've heard about Sorcerer City.
you
That's
already talked
fantastic.
about it.
Jeff, we've arrived.
All right, numero uno. This game is now. You can find it in stores. It's everywhere. We got a little early preview of it a handful of episodes ago. Ryan did a little association station of it.
Oh yeah,
This game is called The Red
the
Cathedral.
Red Cathedral.
By DeVere
That's
Games.
your favorite?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so I've also another play of Tawantin Suyu might swap those two. Played Red Cathedral a few times, so that also helps.
Yeah.
When you play it more
Yep.
than once. But I just think the Red Cathedral just works so well. Like it's just smooth. I love the action selection, this rondelle sort of thing, moving the dice around. It's really good.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah, it's really solid. So
The Red Cathedral.
that's my number 1. I don't see it sliding, even with the 3 that I really need to play and want to play. I don't see it sliding too far out of my
you
top
think it'd probably
5,
stick around.
but Yeah.
That's crazy. I gotta play that sucker.
Yes.
I think your and mine are the same.
I think they're the same.
Yeah.
Number 1
I
for
don't-
both
I think
Natalie
they're
and
the
I
same.
probably is the other T game Jeff did not talk about.
Yep.
And this again for me is with a bullet. We've played it 2 or 3 times now, and every single time I'm just so. I talked about it earlier with Paris about how when you're playing the game, it's just not super fun. Tekkenu is an example of a game that when I'm playing it, I'm having such a good time just sitting there waiting to take my turn even. Like looking at which die to draft, looking at where I want to place. There's like a million, the board is enormous. There's all these cards, there's all these spots to go, all these different ways to get done what you need to get done and to score points. And that game is Tekkenu by Board and Dice. And our new boy, Danielle Tashini,
Yeah.
who's just been on a tear, making all these.
The tease.
all
I'm
these
surprised
T games.
Alma Mater wasn't on your list.
Alma Mater is number 6. It was between that and Sorcerer's City at the last moment. So my number 1 and Natalie's number 1
Tekkenu.
is Tekkenu. We again, like Jeff said, with a bullet. I was like, it's Tekkenu and the crew are 1, 2, and then Forgotten Waters is probably 3. So let's go through some honorable mentions. For me, I have Alma Mater at 6, Miyabi at 7, which again technically had a 2019 December release, but Nova Luna. My City, I want to play that more. Tawantin Suyu, and I put robots on there.
I put robots
cool.
on mine too.
Yeah, that's fun.
Well, my list isn't complete, but pretty much ditto you.
Ditto you.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't say pictures or the crew.
Yeah.
Were those in there?
And stop dittoing him right here on the show.
Yeah, you don't want Jeff to watch me. Watch
come
ditto
on.
me.
A lot of them I didn't really like. I didn't really like Alma Mater.
I know you didn't.
I didn't really like Calico that much. Marvel United.
I mean, it sucked.
Yeah, there were some. So on my honorable mention, I had and 2 games that I think would move up with more plays because you get more into the game would be Jaws of the Lion and My City. Those are 2 that I
Jaws of the Lion.
really enjoyed my 3 or 4 plays
Wait,
of
you
both
did-
of those.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, they're doing.
Yeah, I'm
they're
waiting
going through
for
a
I'm waiting for
campaign.
you guys to play Jaws of the Lion, and then we can have like a
Yep.
a discussion.
yeah.
Yep.
So those 2, I think, with more plays might just be like awesome, right? Because
Yeah.
those first few games are like intro.
you gotta get
level,
out
but
of
you can
the
kind of see
intro
it.
scenario.
Grand Carnival, Mechanica is a 2020 game.
Yep.
Right.
Pan Am was a huge surprise for me. Actually, I was very surprised at how good Pan Am was.
Oh, right.
In comparison to what I kind of thought. Shaolia, Natalie, would you like to change my pronunciation of that one? You remember that?
I don't think that's how it goes.
Sorcerer City, Forgotten Waters is also on mine. The pictures and the crew would have been if I had the same like BGG as Ryan has.
It's funny because
Yeah, it's weird.
Mechanica for me comes up as 2019.
Everything's so strange about that. I also had High
we
Rise
played it in 2019
on there.
too. We didn't play it
You're
in
right,
2020.
we did, didn't we?
Yeah. So High Rise,
that?
some cool kids games of 2020. We like Pika Mouse, Sock Monster, Starlink was a really fun
Oh
one.
yeah, I forgot about
Oh
Starlink.
yeah, I wanted to try that.
So there were some really good ones. I'll tell you what my least favorite game of 2020 I played was
What's that?
Hues and Cues.
Yep, agreed.
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
That is my least favorite 2020
100%.
release.
I'm seeing people putting that on their top list. And
People
I'm like,
love it.
What the
It
hell
was
is your
so
problem?
friggin' boring.
It's terrible. It was
Every
awful.
clue we had was just like goldfish.
Yeah, right.
It was
Banana.
I didn't have any fun playing that game, and I was playing with very fun people. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
we had a
Just not
blast playing
fun.
every other game.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah.
work out very well. Yeah, so
that's my
Jeff
list.
talked about games he still wants to play later on. I had written down a bunch of games that I want to play coming up that are 2020 releases that are, fall into this. They could be 2021s because, they came out right at the end of the year. So I have Castles of Tuscany, Bonfire, Lost Ruins of Arnak, Merv, Undaunted North Africa, Praga Caput Regni, Under Falling Skies, and Dune Imperium. Those are games I
Dune
really,
Imperium,
really
looking
want to
forward to that
play
one,
that are technically 2020 releases that the majority of everyone won't play probably until 2021.
Yeah.
With the exception of like Lost Ruins of Arnak that has been out, and Undaunted, it's been out for a while.
Yeah.
So
Cool. That
that's
was
going to
good.
do it for us tonight, everybody.
Wait,
What, you got more?
there's 2 things we don't know.
Oh, you want to go over those?
Yeah.
Ooh,
All right.
Wait,
All right.
can you just tell me the first letter of the F one?
F.
F.
I mean,
F is the first letter.
word. I mean,
No.
the first word.
F.
Jeff's correct.
Yeah.
That one's double points.
Yep. Yes.
So what do we have? We have
Then
FOA
what's the O in it?
Oh.
of.
God.
So we have FOA. And we have R.
Ooh, Fields of Arl.
Jeff buzz in. She didn't buzz in. Jeff.
Fields of Arl.
Yes, correct. Jeff.
Yes.
We don't raise our hand, Natalie. Raise hand. Fields of Arl. No.
Yes.
Sorry, so Jeff gets that one.
Yes.
So that's the one that you.
I have
played?
not played it, nor
So
do I
Then
own
ROTG is what Jeff owns.
Correct. Owns it. We've all played
Is
it.
the O also of?
Yep. Oh, here you want the T is the.
Oh, of the.
Of the R of the G.
We are of the
House
G.
of the Ganji.
Natalie, ring the freaking bell.
I did.
She tried.
House of the Ganji.
Yeah. Nice. That's a good one. Good game. I want to play that again soon.
It's a great game.
So, Natalie.
I like R of the G better.
R of the G.
What was this?
Basically, it was 8-2.
It was like your other. It was like you were like being sworn in court.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. We're gonna do riddles next time.
ROTG. Yeah, we're
Doing
Riddles of
riddles.
hand.
Riddles next time.
Poor
So
Jeff.
Jeff's self confidence can go
Dude,
back up.
We did about as well in the
Yeah.
inbox.
Yeah.
Sorry, like,
don't feel
just
bad.
catch up
Don't feel
mechanism.
bad.
Yeah.
We sucked. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. You can search Gamecasters and you'll find us there. You can email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. We have a Board Game Geek Guild that really nobody ever goes to anymore, and that's not your fault. That's our fault, and also Natalie's fault because she's not even a member of it. But if you want to join it, it's Guild 3678. If you like the show, we'd love if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. All the music for this and for every episode was produced by Jeremy Pete. If you enjoyed it and want some of your own for your next project, please email us to discuss. So, for Natalie and Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I am Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody. Hello, 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 Jeff, go.
Hello, 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 hello. Natalie, go.
Hello, 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 hello. My microphone's too low.
All right.
Your levels are good, I think.